Thursday night world. And welcome to another episode of Lab Talk with the Dog God, aka the Coach, aka the Elon Musk of high performance working dogs. That is me. He is I, and I am he and him. Yeah. Big salute to all my brethren who came again to the classroom. No other classroom like it on this planet Earth for us dogmen, engineer nerds, the tippity top of the tier intellectuals of high performance working dogmen engineers, right? Just like you got to have the highest level of calculus, right? Dogman genetic calculus to be in this damn classroom, man. You got to have that, the aeronomics and all that type of shit when it comes to performance. You got to have all these type of degrees to be qualified for this type of classroom. And I definitely want to thank all of you who are striving to achieve the tippity top of the tier level when it comes to being a high performance working dog engineer. That is right. That is right. And oh, look at who we got in pole position, man. We got my brother, the Bakari from Canada. My brother, man, got the pole position. Big salute to you, the Bakari. We got my brother Ready, man. My brother Young Ready. Always there, man. Always there supporting this boy, man. Always there, man. I appreciate you. Always ready. We got my brother Cooper with that second place. And big salute to Caveman. We got my brother Lucky Mills in the building. Yeah. Oh, I think we got a new one in the building, man. I don't know the name, but AM Jari. 3143, man. Big salute to you, my brother. Welcome to the class. Verde Bulls in the building, my brother Verde. My brother Tony has done it again, Mr. It feels good. My brother Tony, man. Big salute to you, Tone. Make sure I get everybody, man, and everybody that will be trickling in, and all the ones that will be watching the replay, man. Oh, yay. Big salute to all of you. Hey, Coop, man. Shout out to Coop. By the way, y'all don't know, Coop is only 18 years old, man. He's a young man. And, bruh, Coop, I appreciate your dedication, man. And I can tell you have that fire, man. You have that fire that I had in me when I was 8 years old when it came to dogs. You know what I'm saying? I had no clue at that time about, how far I'm going to take it, right? How far I was ever going to take that dream, that Martin Luther King. I had a dream at 8 years old. I was like, I want to make my own dogs. When you go and you tell your friends that shit and they kind of, they chuckle at you and shit because it's over their head. Your 8-year-old friends, you tell them, man, I'm going to make a, you see dogs like, I'm going to make me a dog. They look at you like, what do you mean? How can you make a dog? Coach, how can you make a dog? You know how we was when we was kids. Curious George when we was kids. We was Curious George when we were kids. Remember that? Yeah. But hey, big salute to you, Coop. Being a young man and being inspired, man. Coming to the classroom. You know what I mean? Coming to the classroom to learn dogs, man. And you came to the right classroom. And I'm going to be here for you, Coop. I'm going to be here for you to help you reach your goals, man. You know what I mean? And salute to you also, Coop. Your mom reached out to me, you know what I mean? And, she let me know, hey, whenever you get the merch, Coop, he ready. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, Coop. Salute to your parents, you know what I mean, for believing in you and doing whatever they're supporting you, Coop. And y'all don't know, like I said, hey, y'all already told you, Coop is blind, man. You know what I'm saying? And he got a dream to make dogs. He has a dream, you know what I'm saying? And we're not going to damper that dream, you know what I'm saying? And he's been here consistently learning. And you already know if he ain't being able to see it, his sense of touch is way higher. His hearing is way higher. His awareness, his mental awareness is way higher than ours. You know what I mean? Think about Stevie Wonder and all these other blind, talented people on the planet that just blow your mind. They can't see their other senses is heightened, 20 times, 100 times more than even ours. So Coop, I'm here for you, Coop. I appreciate your support, Coop. Keep learning. You know what I mean? Shout out to your mom, tell your mother. I said, thank you for reaching out to me. She's a beautiful woman, sweet woman. You know what I'm saying? And she's there for you. Your family is there for you, man. And hey, we here for you too, Coop. So big salute to Cooper. And to you guys, Coop made sure. He made sure his mom hit me up and hey, coach, I'm getting you, coach. You know what I mean? Of course, she ain't gonna call me coach, but you know, she said Coop said he want the merch. I'm here to, you know, make sure he get the merch. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Verde. Verde hit me up. Hey, coach, you know what I'm saying? I want the merch. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Young Ready to coach whenever you want the merch. So I appreciate all the ones that is supporting me. You know what I'm saying? Actually going to support me. And like I said, I'm going to, in return, give you guys a superior product to where you're going to feel proud. You know what I'm saying? A prestige to wear it. Oh, also my brother Callie. I can't forget my brother Callie. You know what I'm saying? Only the council. He already coach. I mean, he said the same thing. Coach, I'm ready to merch.com. So salute to all y'all already, you know, on that support train. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very, 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 very grateful to all of you. That's right. That's right. So before I get into my stories of the week, you know, do what we do best, man. Let's get prepared, man. Let's get comfortable. Let's get prepared. I know those of you who've already been accustomed to our classroom, our so-called like classroom rituals, if you want to call it that. It's just more just to curb the edge. You know what I'm saying? No abuse. We don't do no abuse over here. Some of y'all might be abusing the shit, but you know, I don't encourage any type of substance abuse. But it's always good to be able to curb the edge. So if you got your herbal sensations, however you want to partake in that, you're gonna roll it up in a backwood, a paper plane, a Swisher Sweets. You're gonna pack it in a bonga. You're gonna eat it. You're gonna drink it. You're gonna bathe in it. You're gonna put some lotion on it. Whatever, however you infuse your herbal sensations, man. Get your lighters and get your snacks ready to go. Your drinks ready to go. Infused with the herbal sensation. If you like hops, the tastes of hops, all them type of beers, different beers, light beers, dark beers, you know, organic beers, whatever the fuck type of beers that you fucking like. Make sure your mugs is cold out the freezer. Make sure that bitch is cold. Crack that bitch open, man. Get that bitch ready to go. Get ready to, you know, get the beer ready to go, man, so you can taste them hops. And if you like that hard liquor, man, you like that light skin, you like that dark skin liquor, whether you like to sip it nice and slow like a cognac, like a yak, or you like to take it down to the shots, get that bitch ready to go, man. And if you like the coach, you like to mix your liquor with a little concoction, man. You like to kind of have a little flavor into your liquor, you know what I'm saying? You know how the coach do, man. I got my vodka lemonade, and y'all get y'all concoctions ready to go. That's right. So big cheers to all my brethren, all my sisters who come into this classroom to learn, not to be entertained. Not to be entertained, man. This we nerds over here, man. We nerds, we love to learn over here. So if you want to be a real dog man, top tier nerd, where you trying to create the created, because ain't nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to further the progression of the dogs, man. Cheers to all y'all, man. Much love and respect. Cheers. Let me do it. Let me give me another little sip. Oh yeah, man. God is good. Another week in the books. Very grateful. Exotic Warbles in the building. My brother, big salute to ya. Make sure I got everybody, man. Yep. And all y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all not in the chat. It's all good. Salute to all you guys as well. Trickling in. So, you know how I like to do. I like to give you a briefing of my week, you know, before we get into the classroom festivities. I mean, those of you who support me, y'all know I did an interview on All World Doberman. Shout out to Gerald. Gerald reached out to me and was intrigued at the conversation me and Trevor had on his platform. And like I said, you know, last week and a few times before, like, you know, shout out to Trevor, you know, someone who has his own platform, someone who's established, and, you know, he don't need to reach out to nobody. He's a one-man band and he's got his own influence and he's doing a damn good job at it. And he don't need nobody to boost him or do anything of the sort. You know what I'm saying? But, I definitely want to give a shout out to Trevor. He knows it, but because he don't have to reach, like for me, he don't have to reach out to me. He don't. He's a busy man. He got his own thing. He's got his own authority. He's got his own lane. He's doing his thing, but he's been consistent in supporting me, liking my shit, encouraging me. Like, I see what you're doing, coach. You know what I mean? Hey, I like what you're doing. Do that shit, coach. Do that shit. Do that. And then, reaching out to me, hey coach, man, I ain't talking about that. I want you on my platform. I want to do it, last time we did a little short interview, it was real short and shit. You know what I mean? Nah. I want to, let's talk. Let's have a nice little conversation. So we did, you know what I mean? And due to that conversation, that's how Gerald was able to, find me. Like, oh shit, who's this nigga? Damn. And then because of that, reached out to me like, hey, what you and Trevor was talking about was intriguing. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing something different, and I like how you articulated it. So I would love to have you on my platform. So this past week, last week, Friday, I was on this platform and it went very well. I enjoyed it. I was able to at least give a summary of who I am, what I'm about, and where I'm going when it comes to me being the dog god, aka the coach, aka the Elon Musk of high performance working dogs, and my vision. Of course, 20 plus years in the game is, shit, that's a damn novel and shit. If I wrote down and had an interview explaining everything, but I was able to give a summary and, I felt comfortable with it, and I want to thank him for that. And, he said something at the end that, I'm grateful for, that, out of all the interviews that he's done, he said, man, this is one of the best interviews I've done. So to be able to have that come out of a man who, definitely has his dog man credentials and talks to a lot of different people, met all kind of different dog men, for him to allow me to be myself and express myself and for me to intrigue him. Not only that, for him to be taking notes. Okay. Stuff that I've always tell you guys to do. We always speak about taking notes because this is a classroom setting. And the things that I do as the coach, I do teach X's and O's, right? Because I'm the coach. I am the coach. So I got to get on the chalkboard and teach X's and O's if I'm the coach, right? But Gerald don't know me like y'all know me. And just in that interview alone, it had him a thinking man. He's obviously a thinking man like me, like y'all, right? We use our brain. He's like, damn, this nigga coach talking some real shit. He's saying a lot of, let me take it. Damn, he giving me formulas. Let me take my notes. So very grateful to have that opportunity to share with his audience who I am. Very grateful to him for that. So big salute to all of you guys who, came to support me too, man. Reddy, the Bakaria, all y'all, you know what I'm saying? All y'all. I didn't see the chat, but everyone who came and supported me, I love you guys, man. Because we stand in we in our own lane. We are in our own lane, and they try to attack us, but you can't attack us. We way above your league, man. When you shoot your bullets, it don't even hit us, man. You know what I mean? It's like you shooting bullets, it don't even hit us. We too high up. You know what I'm saying? So big salute to all of you who watched that. If you missed it, go to All World Doberman. Go scroll down. You'll see Formula One K9s. You'll see, the battle, building the battle-proof dog, the coach on there. Click on that. Watch that, man. Some great content. Gerald also told me like, hey, coach, I'm gonna be doing a lot of clips off the live. That's what I do. Make sure I'm gonna tag you in it. Make sure you accept it, whatever, right? So I'm like, all right, cool, right? So of course, the naysayers, spectators, haters, and commentators are always going to be at the coaches' games. They've been at my games. What's new, right? And what's new? A different audience, a different platform, but what's new? You know what I'm saying? Like I get hundreds of people on Facebook in my comment section. Hundreds. Been there, done that. Been there when I was in Facebook groups, I was getting thousands of people in the comment section. I've been dealing with people coming to my games. I'm used to people coming to my games because I'm EA Sports in the game, right? You're gonna have something to say when somebody is present in their fucking face when it comes to these goddamn, these dogs. Of course you're gonna have something to talk about when somebody's in your face, when they're present in your face. You know what I'm saying? When you want to see them fall because you see them too tall, right? And you know what I do? I stand tall at what I do, right? But see, these new spectators, they don't know me. They just might have seen me for the first time, or maybe they did see me before and they was in the comment section, but maybe because they dick ride Gerald and shit. So, fuck, Gerald called the coach over there. Oh man, I'm already fucking jealous and envious of that nigga. Oh, this is my perfect time to fucking downplay him in front of Gerald. Right? You know how these motherfuckers be, man. So feminine in their ways. These motherfuckers feminine. So anyway, the new audience, they don't know how the coach is, man. The coach, I'm not even fazed by you, man. All you spectators, naysayers, hitting and commenting, y'all bring the crowds to my game. Y'all help me in the algorithm. You guys push my content. When I got all you in the stands, I want you in the stands. Not everybody has all their fucking fans in the stands. When you go to a game, you got the away side and you got the home team. I ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm top tier at what I do. I'm a fucking superstar, all pro. Of course you're going to come to my games and boo me. Boo, coach ain't shit, boo. You wouldn't even go there if I wasn't the shit. You want to see me not being the shit. That's why you go to the game. If I didn't bring anything to the table, you wouldn't even fucking come. You think I'm stupid? Of course I'm not stupid. I invite you to the game, spectators. Spectators. And I know you guys are probably going to be watching this live. You new to me. Welcome. You can sit in the back. Y'all can sit in the back. It's fine. You can hide your hand and shit when you throw your rock. I don't give a fuck. Throw your rock. Show yourself. I don't care, man. Of course you're coming. Of course you're going to come to my games. I make it exciting for you, huh? I give you something to root for, huh? I can make you. I hope you like in your spirit. You're like, oh, I hope he fucking fumbles. Oh, I hope he don't make it. But in reality, you envious. You got envy for a real nigga in the field doing real things that you're not doing. So I'm gonna comment on two different types of spectators, and we're gonna move forward. I had a spectator that I don't even fucking know. Matter of fact, I don't know none of them. But he said some slick shit in the comment section, right? Like, what's it like I'm on some drugs or something like that because I'm talking the way I'm talking, talking with authority because I really do this shit. So then I look at the person's stuff, right? Look at his profile, and he's a motherfucking canine cop. He's a motherfucking canine cop, Ren 1010 black one. He's a black canine cop from Atlanta. You know how them niggas be in Atlanta. You don't even know if they real men or not. Okay, but he commenting on me. So I'm like, damn it, man, right? And obviously Gerald know him because then Gerald gave him like an okay sign or whatever. I mean, low key, I kind of took that a certain way. But being that I'm a man, I'm not in my Whitney and shit like that, I just disregarded that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, whatever. Maybe Gerald know the nigga, they cool, whatever. However it is what it is, right? Boom. But I commented on homeboy. When he said that, I was like, sounds good, spectator. And then he said some fucking other slick ass nigger shit with the ER. He said some slick nigger shit about some internet niggas all think they this, that, and the third. I comment back to it. Sounds good. Black Ren 1010 canine cop. This is what I got to say to you, Black Ren 1010 canine cop. Now, you might have a following in what you doing and all that type of shit. Being a fucking canine copper, okay? And being a decoy, being a fucking dog biting, bite work, whatever you do, trainer. Okay? That's what you do. That's your lane. Okay? Me as a man, black one at that, I'm not worried about what you're doing. I would never comment on anything that you're doing because I don't do what you do. And even if I did do what you do, if I didn't have nothing positive to say, I wouldn't say shit. My manhood won't allow me to comment on other men because I don't got no bitch in me. I ain't got no pussy. Huh? You Negroes today, and I can see it says Atlanta, I understand why you feminine. You probably was raised by your motherfucking mama, nigga. Right? You're probably a down low ass nigga. You probably watched the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Probably the type of nigga you is, right? Why you comment on, you don't know me, nigga. You don't know me. Trying to downplay what I do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm expressing what I'm expressing to y'all because that's how I felt. Bruh, stick to training motherfucking dogs, you police canine copper. I don't do what you do, officer. Officer, I don't do what you do. I make them goddamn dogs that you train. Nigga. That's what I do. That's what I do. Of course, when I talk to shit with authority, you don't understand it because you don't do what the fuck I do. Nigga. Nigga. Stay in your motherfucking lane. You don't do what the fuck I do. Trying to downplay a real nigga in the field. You don't downplay me, boy. Stay in your lane. Keep your feminine ass ways away from me, nigga. Stay in your lane, bro. Whatever you got, your little following, your little training and all this shit, that's what you do. That's what you do. Stay in that lane. You ain't got to comment on me. You ain't got to comment on a real nigga that do real things. What men do that? Except for men from Atlanta like you. Feminine ass niggas in other niggas' business. Trying to downplay me. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Stick to fucking getting bit by dogs. If that's what you do and you do it at a high level, do it. But if you ain't making dogs, you ain't got lines you ever made before, nigga. You ain't fucking got the credentials I got. You ain't got dogs all over the United States, all over the world, nigga. You ain't got visions to go further. You ain't got a program that will take you further. You ain't got none of that stuff like that. Everything that I do, you don't do. Why you commenting on it? Why you downplaying a real nigga? Why is another black man down on another black man for? What's that all about? You want attention? You mad? Are you mad because your friend Gerald said my interview was one of his favorite interviews, one of the best interviews he did? You mad because he said that to me and he might have never said that to you when you and him did an interview? Are you mad? What's up with these niggas nowadays, y'all? Feminine ass niggas. That's why I step away from this shit. That's why I just do me. When Gerald did my interview, he said it's about the dogs. He said that first. You know why he said that? Because I told him it was that. I said, Gerald, only thing I'm about with this shit, Gerald, I'm just about the dogs, Gerald. It's only about the dogs for me. I don't care about this social media shit. The only reason why I'm doing show and tell because it's about the dogs. When you see my page, it is about the dogs. I'm not telling y'all, oh, it's coach. Coach, it's me. Look at me. No, it's the dogs. I do an interview. Of course, you're going to see me. You want to interview the coach? Now you're going to meet the coach. But see, when you get spectators like that, then you look at them and like, bro, you got your own lane. Why the fuck you commenting on a real nigga? You don't do what the fuck I do. Why me talking like I know what the fuck I'm talking about offends you and makes you feel like you got to comment and downplay a real nigga for? Because you want attention? You jealous? You jealous because your boy Gerald liked what I had to say? You jealous? Because I seen Gerald give you the okay sign. So what, you jealous, nigga? Respect to Gerald, but you can have him. You can have Gerald. Gerald don't make me. You jealous? I digress off of that. I just had to say, I had to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is sweet. These fucking dog niggas is sweet. That's why I stay in my lane. I don't deal with no sweet ass niggas. I got a sweet wife. That's who I deal with, who is sweet. Other than that, I don't deal with no sweet shit. My dogs ain't even sweet. My female dogs, they not even sweet. I digress. And then let me talk about you little spectators. Okay? You new little spectators that try to have a debate with me, man. I'm not paying attention to you little ass spectators with your little ass yards, your one fucking trick pony type programs and shit. Do you, little nigga? I don't give a fuck. Do you see me comment on anything that you got going on? But you commenting on mine, right? Because I got that presence to bring you out, huh? I got the verbiage to bring you out, huh? I got the dogs to bring you out. I don't go to none of your motherfucking games. Because you ain't relevant to a real nigga in the field. If you really in the field, you worried about your own shit. You ain't worried about nobody else's shit. You think you're going to tell me something that's going to make me pivot off my shit? You little niggas. You little spectating ass niggas. You think you're going to make me pivot? Nigga, please. Boy, sounds good. Spectator. Sounds good. Oh, you talking slick? Sounds good. Oh, my dogs ain't this, my dogs ain't that. Sounds good. What else you got to say? Sounds good. Sit your bitch ass down in the stands where you belong. Sit your bitch ass down. You ain't doing shit when it comes to what I'm doing. You're not even my fucking league. You will never get accepted in no Navy SEAL buzz school, nigga. You ain't got that fucking pedigree. You ain't smart enough. You ain't strong enough. You're not a free thinker. You're a fucking puppet. You do what everybody else do because it's acceptable and you dick ride. I do what the fuck I want to do. I blaze my own fucking trail. And then I show and tell what I do. That's what make you motherfuckers envious. That's what make grown men in fucking other grown men business. Feminine ass, internet ass niggas. That's the internet niggas when you over there in other people's business being feminine. I don't like that. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Acting like a bitch with a pussy. That's what niggas acting like today. Females with pussy. It's like the roles are reversed. The females got dicks and the niggas got pussy lips. It's flipped now. Females act more masculine than men nowadays. Ain't that a fucking bitch? Can't stand this shit. That's why I stay in the background where I belong. That's why I stay where the elite go and none of you fucking weak-ass, low-minded motherfucking non-thinking individual dogman go because you don't even qualify to be where I'm at. Don't even fucking qualify. So anyway, I had to, you know what I mean? I gotta, like, you know how the coach do? I gotta get this on my chest to tell y'all about my week. I gotta debrief, right? That's why y'all respect me, because I give y'all the real. I give y'all the real and the raw. That's why I'm the coach. So to those two level of spectators, hopefully you heard me. And if you didn't hear me, I don't give a fuck. Mind your business. Stay out of my business. You ain't stopping nothing I'm doing. Yeah, I know you mad. Yeah, I know you envious because I got shit you don't. I got a thought process that you don't. I got dogs that you don't. I got my own vision that you don't. I buried more fucking dogs than you ever had alive. That's how serious I am with my program. That's how many fucking breedings I've done, how many dogs I done bought that was pieces of shit. Didn't work out. How many experiments I fucking did over the years of 20 years doing dogs. The fuck you do? Spectate. Commentate. Comment in other niggas' comment section like a fucking bitch. I digress. Anyway, let me get another drink, man. I had to get that. Come on, y'all know I had to get that off my chest. Because I know they probably gonna be in the back. So hopefully you heard that. Hopefully you heard that in the back. Hopefully you heard that. Okay? This envious spirit is strong. Just like the Jezebel spirit is strong on the females today. These females is filled with the Jezebel spirit and they winning right now, huh? And men, it's the envious spirit. The spirit of envy is in men today, and it's like the plague. Grown ass men envious of other grown ass men. What kind of shit is that, man? What kind of feminine ass shit is that? But you know, it's the sign of the times. Bitches with dicks and niggas with pussy lips. That's what it is. It's the sign of the times. Ain't that a bitch? I'll digress. Let me share my link before I keep it going. Big salute to my brother, Inquisitive Dejin. Inquisitive Dejin, big salute. Rogue Wolf Project, my brother, big salute. Rogue Wolf Project, big salute. Who else do we got up in here? I don't want to miss nobody before we get to kicking. All right, cool. So I'm going to drop this link, and we're going to kick this damn thing off. Okay? And one thing, okay, because you know we give foresight in the classroom. You know, these interviews I've been given foresight. I've been foreshadowing shit. Normally I just keep it to myself and I just do it. Okay, but you know, when you foreshadow shit, it's just so beyond their fucking comprehension. They don't understand our engineer talk. They don't understand nothing that we do because they don't fucking do it. I get it. I got it. I'm okay with it. But at the same time, you're going to put some respect on my name, motherfucker, because you don't do what I do. You don't have the dogs on it. You wish you had a fucking freak of nature named Double XL Pitbull, freak of nature AK-47 Chopper, aka the. You wish you had one like that. If you ever own one of you, wouldn't even, man, you will thank God, just like I do. And you wish that you could reproduce what you've seen like I can. Woo, that's why I talk so highly about AK. Over all my dogs, I got some great dogs. Had them over the years, produced them all the shit. None like AK though. None like AK. That's why I speak so highly about it. So yeah, of course you're gonna be in your feelings about AK and say, "Oh, this ain't that. Oh, ain't no such thing." Because you will never have one. You ain't got the vision. You're not a visionary. You don't know how to think outside the box to create a story. You wouldn't go overseas to get your shit. You just buy the same old shit, recycled, fake ass, fucking pedigrees, fake ass narratives. You be buying that shit because everybody say that's the best dog. That's what you would do. You would fucking buy shit that don't have the genetic characteristics that you was trying to get, and then you would think that you get it. That's what you would do. I'm smarter than that. I know how dogs is made. I ain't stupid like most of you motherfuckers, not y'all in the chat, but the motherfucking spectators, haters, naysayers, and commentators that be over there in the back. Dumbass, ignorant motherfuckers. You belong there. You don't belong in this classroom. Motherfucker, I'm speaking a foreign language to you. I digress. Let me send that link. Let me send that link. Okay, if you qualified to hit that link, come on down. We got a great class tonight. Just like we do every Thursday night. If you haven't, man, please go back in time. Michael J. Fox hit all them damn classes, man. So much good information. From class number 1 all the way to class 120. We on class 120 every Thursday night for the high performance working dog man and dog women engineers, man. You know what I mean? Top tier, the tip of the top. That's what it's all about. Over here, ready, what's good?
Salute, coach. Salute, coach.
Yeah, salute, man. How you like that interview, man? Did I do okay?
Nah, that joint was fire, man.
But hey, are those little clips brought all the naysayers and spectators out?
Did it in droves. I didn't even understand what I was looking at for a second. And it was new, and it wasn't even like the ones that maybe it was some of them that I didn't notice, but it was a lot of new spectators there. A lot.
Yeah, well, you know, we on a whole different platform, and you know, we got a lot of my man's, you know, Gerald's people and shit or whatever to follow him. So of course they was gonna pop up. You know what I mean?
But then there was also a lot of people that wasn't hating at the same time.
Right. I seen that too. Yeah, I seen that too. You know, I got like 200. I think I got like 200 followers off that motherfucker off the Formula One page.
That's what's up.
You know, I had motherfuckers in the DMs with some real support type shit. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers is really feeling the nigga at the end of the day. You know, and it wasn't for that. I just was doing an interview, but at the same time, you know, somebody got to be the tip of the spear when it comes to this shit. And if I got a platform, I might as well represent it.
Exactly.
Job.
Yeah. 100%, man.
That's a good word.
Okay, man. You see the interview, man?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was good.
Okay, cool. I did okay.
Your passing grade.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. What about you, Verde? You seen it, Verde?
Oh yeah, that was a wonderful interview. A lot of topics touched, a lot of great topics touched. You really, in my experience, I feel like you got to know Thomas Harris. You feel me? You got to see who Coach was. You got to see what Coach was bringing forward. And if you wasn't in there trolling, you very much understood the assignment. You feel me?
There you go, Verde. Facts. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Go ahead. No, that was dope. That was dope. You gonna say something, K-Man?
I just said you spotlighted that merchandise.
Yes, I did, K-Man. Yes, and then you heard what he said at the end. Hey, Coach, I need that merch.
Fire.
I need that merch, Coach. So you heard it a second time. So, you know, when Coach be saying stuff, and I know you guys already know this, but like I said, there's certain people that embellish when they speak. They let them embellish shit because it sound good. Yep. So when I tell you guys these things, like how I proved to y'all the last week or the couple weeks back about how they was mixing these damn dogs in the Malawals way back in the day, and I heard it from somebody who I respect and I follow because I'm trying to do what he did. What he does and what he did. You know, he said that they was doing that shit back in the 80s and shit. So when motherfuckers tell you that, oh no, they don't ever do that shit, they never do. Them dogs are pure. And I said this a long time ago, but you might not have maybe paid attention. Maybe you just blew, oh, this coach just fucking embellished shit because Coach mixed dogs. But then I showed y'all what the motherfucker said. It's like, okay, but damn, I remember Coach told us that shit a long time ago. Yeah, okay. So I guess it is true. So even with Gerald, you know, him and I having that conversation over the phone, him telling me, Coach, I need that merch. I'll pay for our overnight and get it to me. Like he was adamant about it. He thought I was just holding back. He thought I was like, no, I don't. I only had this one. And then for him to say it again was just proof to y'all that Coach I don't add 10 on 2, man. I keep it raw and real every time. Period. So big salute. Thank you guys for, your support. Thank you guys for, just being there, man. And I see my brother Only the Council in the damn comment section digging in the motherfucker's ass. He was in there smacking them motherfucking trolls and naysayers. I was like, look at my nigga up in there. Nigga, that nigga was smacking them motherfuckers around. You know what I mean? So big salute to him, man. Just repping. One more thing.
Salute to Council.
Yeah. Another thing I want to bring up before we get started is I've been brainstorming as far as like how I'm going to move forward with Formula One K9s and like how I'm going to build it and how I'm going to make it make sense, to me and to my goal, my vision overall. And because I have these formulas and I have this end goal, which to be able to get my dogs into the military and, get them at the highest level if possible, with the Formula One move, the Formula One theme, and the Formula One K9s, and how Formula One racing is about racing teams. I was thinking this. I've been thinking about this probably for the past 6 months. I just haven't been able to articulate it the way I want to articulate it. But what I'm going to do with Formula One K9s is I'm going to create a Formula One K9s team, and those are going to be, and the people that are going to be involved are going to be individuals who will invest in the program itself and be a part of the program when it comes to like my F1s and a vision of creating these type dogs to where once we create them, then, you know, everybody is damn near gets a piece of the pie when it comes to us producing them at a mass level. And not only that, we control the formula, the F1 formula we control, because that's where the power is when it comes to producing individuals, is in the F1s. And like I was saying on the interview, I'm producing freaks and podium dogs, and I'm producing individuals, not lines. Okay. So with that being said, the best way you produce those individuals is off those F1s. That's going to be potent enough for the public or potent enough for the military. But the power of the formula is breeding those F1s together that we produce. So I've been thinking about that, how I'm going to formulate that, but I'm going to really, you know, like lock that down, like how I'm going to make that work. And then like when I produce these F1s coming up, I'm only going to sell them to the team. I'm not selling them to no random motherfuckers. The F1s, I can't give the F1s to the public. I know there are going to be a lot of people mad, but at the same time, if people want to join the squad, then, you know, they can join the squad, and I'll sell the F1s to people that's going to be on the team to where we can use them all. Because just like what we're going to talk about tonight, you know, how every dog, a part of that bloodline is valuable, whether they're valuable when it comes to the job and performance, or they're valuable when it comes to breeding them. And with them F1s being so valuable because of their genetic variants, I need to be able to touch all of them. And with that being the formula, part of the formula, I want my team to be in control of that. I don't want nobody outside the squad being in control of them F1s. Nobody. So I've been thinking about how I'm going to do this and move forward with it. And with the whole theme of Formula One racing and with Formula One canines, you know, I need to build my team up. So that's something that I'm going to be working on, and how to really push that. And I'm so grateful that I had to be patient too, and not being premature about, you know, releasing these F1 hybrids too soon, you know, because I've been getting ideas over time, and I've been just, you know, going back and forth in my mind, like how I'm going to play this out to where I can control it. And you know, I don't have people having my shit. Well, I got that shit too. I can produce it. No, you can't. If you ain't a part of the Formula One Canines team, you ain't got the formula. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have, let's say you get the F3 productions, you know, we do the F2 breedings, and then you get, you know, we sell you the F3s, whatever. You got that, you breed those, that's fine. But through our philosophy, that's just all right. We diluted that shit already. When we inbred them, them F1s, when we did the F1 breeding, we inbred those. We diminished that. We diminished some of that fucking fire. We diminished it when we inbred it. You know, we solidified the genes that vigor ain't as high as them F1s. Okay. Then the productions off of that, we sell to you. Let's say you get them, you breed them, whatever the fuck you want to do with those, cool. That'll be a lower frequency, genetic frequency of the F1 formulas that we have. So you might get a dog, but you'll never get the tip of the top tier of them F1s. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I want to hold it, because I know once I catch the wave, niggas gonna try to copy me and trace me. I get it. But you ain't got the F1 formula, because the only one that got the F1 formula is my team. And that's how I'm going to be able to keep everything in-house with Formula One. Because if you got something third generation, you ain't got that fucking raw. That's what they're going to say to you. You ain't got the raw. Coach got the raw. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to sell them F2s to the military and F3s to the public. That makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. A lot of sense. Yep.
Because I want freaks and podium dogs every single time. If I get a military contract, I want them to think like, Coach, you got something better than the last shit we had? Coach, we done bought so many dogs, all of them been top tier. You got something better than that? Yes, sir. All I'm doing is playing with them F1s, sir. Yes, sir. You know, I got the F1 formula, sir. I know how to get maximum hybrid vigor where I might get a couple freaks, but I'm going to get some podium dogs out that bitch. And all of them different. What you want, a smaller one? What you want, one that does this? You want a bigger one? What you want? Because you know we getting everything out of them F1 breedings. We getting the whole fucking kit and caboodle out that mix. So I'm always going to get variant. You know how the coach loves genetic variants. You know how most people want to breed the same shit. The coach don't want to breed the same shit because my clients ain't going to want the same shit.
That's a fact.
Hey, coach, I like that dog and shit, but man, that dog was too hardy, man. That dog was too much, man. You got some little tone down, but more on this side versus that side. Yeah, I got that one over there. That one fits your whole play. It's more on this, but less on that. Boom. Not all the same. They're all the same, sir. I ain't got nothing for you, sir. They're all the same size, sir. I ain't got nothing for you, sir. You ain't gonna ever hear that come out of my mouth. I'm an engineer. I got that for you. Oh, that's what you want. I got that. Oh, you want that? I got that one for you too. I got that. Oh, I got that one too. There ain't nothing I don't got that you don't want. I got it all. So this is where the vision is. This is where you are visionary and you got foresight. Then you share it with dummies and it sounds like foreign language to them because they dumb as fuck. You can't do dogman physics. Get the fuck out the class. You don't comprehend this shit. Get your ass in that motherfucking elementary school that you belong in with. Go to elementary school of dogs, motherfucker, where you belong. Go and trace and go color in between the lines of that coloring book where you belong. That's where you belong, okay? Don't comment on shit you don't understand. Peon. I digress. Let me take me another motherfucking drink. Big salute to y'all.
Salute.
Salute, coach. Salute, Reed. You ready? My bad. Salute, ready.
Verde.
Yeah, we have a good class tonight. And I'm gonna put it on the ticker, and I'm gonna play a little video for us to start it off. You know what I mean? We're gonna start it off with a little video, but I'm gonna put the topic in the ticker tonight. And the topic tonight: performance versus production. Why elite dogs and horses don't always produce greatness. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard individuals speak like this. I only breed top-tier performers to top-tier performers. If they don't perform, I call them or I get rid of them. I don't breed them. Have you ever heard that before?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we've all heard that before. We've heard that narrative, right? But being that we know that this breeding shit is not guaranteed, and we've also learned that it's a genetic lottery from the best of the best breeders of performance animals, which is thoroughbred horse fucking breeders. They got the most money. They got all the technology. They got all the testing, all the DNA. They got all the shit that we wish we had when it comes to our tools to use to produce the best competition animal. They have the best of the best. Would y'all agree to that?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, good. I'm glad we all agree. So I wanted us to do a class on this subject because I've always said to you guys that we need to test everything. We don't assume shit when we play the lottery. We don't assume nothing. And another thing that we need to do a show on, we probably will do, is the spirit of the animal, nurturing an animal. People don't talk about developing an animal mentally, spiritually. They just bet everything on their raw genetic talents and leave development out of it. They want plug and play animals. And being that I've studied thoroughbred horse racing and their dynamics and their positions and everybody who play it, why they pay trainers a lot of money, why certain animals are underdogs and they become fucking top tier animals over time. Why trainers get paid the big bucks and why trainers get fired? Why when somebody spend all kind of money on a horse and they bet on the genetics that they pay you to bring it out? They pay you as a fucking trainer to bring it. They're not paying you top tier if the horse do it already. If the horse do everything by themselves, why do they need to pay you top tier money as a trainer? Why? They pay you as a fucking trainer, a horse trainer, because they want you to develop the goddamn DNA. They know the DNA is there. They say, ooh, I like how you developed this horse. I like how you took that horse, was looking like mediocre, pedigree was something, but you made that motherfucker a champion. Ooh, I love, like me, if I'm them, I got money, I'm looking at your resume and what you've done to horses that was mediocre, lackluster. I'm not looking at what you've done with talented horses. Nigga, I could have did that shit myself. So a lot of dogmen today, especially, they try to deal with working dogs and competition dogs, they be throwing away some good ass dogs because they don't know how to shape a mind of an animal. Like you having your kid, kind of nervous because he's nervous, you know what I'm saying? He got bad nerves because he ain't comfortable and shit. But oh man, my kid is, he's nervous. Oh, you ain't shit. Oh, my kid, I'm not gonna put no time in you. Oh, no, it's your kid, you forced to. That's how they do with horses. They invested so much, they do everything in their power until they can't do it no more. That's what they do when you're investing. When it's your child, you do everything in your power to develop it. Then when you develop it, you're glad that you put all that in it. And then your son is telling you or your daughter saying, Daddy, thank you. Because I didn't think I could do it, Dad. But you believed in me and you allowed me to develop. And then now look at me. Thanks, Dad. Same thing with these fucking dogs. But does anybody ever talk about this? I mean, have you guys ever heard about anybody talking about developing a dog?
No.
Mentally. Or they say, you know what I mean? Oh, they got bad this, they got bad that. I throw them in the trash.
They just talk
I'm bring up
about
this topic, but I definitely got to say, like, brain development. When I say that, I feel like it flies over so many people's heads because they don't understand. Like what Coach just said, like people don't understand about taking notes and tests and trials. Like really sit back, watch, take notes. Like it's so much shit that people just overlook because, like Coach said, they want to plug and go. They just want a dog that just go. But once again, like those are crash out dogs. That's not what you want in your program. You feel me? I'm gonna leave it up to what Coach gonna say next. You feel me? But you don't want no crash out.
Was y'all gonna say something else before I chime in? Ready, K-Man?
nah.
Mental development's pretty important in like hounds and game dogs, game chickens too.
Yeah, it's just nobody really talks about it the way it should be talked about. And like I said, when you're an engineer, you need to trust your DNA. Trust your DNA. You
I
know,
was gonna say, I never hear about them talking about the mental development, but I hear them talking about just the birth of the puppies developing in the mother's womb. That's all I hear about.
damn.
Because
Wow.
they trying to get the bag as soon as possible.
Wow.
Trying to get the best of the best. You know what's crazy? We was just in the back end talking about modified dogs. Well, it wasn't. I can't say it's a real topic, but it's just something that I seen in the American bully community. It's like some of these dogs that come in heat around 6 to 8 months. I got a bully bitch right now. I could bet money on it. She comes in heat every 4 months and 15 days. And I feel like it's because that's what they was breeding and selecting for. When they just breeding for quality, that's what you get. You don't get performance. You just get a bitch that just want to spit and go. Like you said, they just want a dog to plug and go. And that goes in all sorts of ways. Breeding, performance.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. They just want things that, like you said, plug and play. And like I've told you guys, and like I expressed on Gerald's interview, my theme is frames, brains, and motors. Putting the best frames on the dog. Not only that, because I'm a conditioner, I develop the frame to see if the frame even works. Okay. Putting the best motors in the dog, that's all the different drives, you know, the breathing apparatus, you know, the organs, you know, all that shit goes into the motor. All that shit I'm thinking about when I think about the motor, right? The drive of it, how much fucking, you know, work can it handle? Payload can it handle? Can it be an overdrive dog? Can it cool itself off? All that shit. Okay. And then the brain. The brain. Does it have its own mental awareness? Is it independent enough to figure it out on its own? And then also, is it smart enough to be coached? Does it have an on-off switch? Huh? Now, with the brain, and we talked about this too, and I'm going to digress after this, off of this topic. With the brain, it's like a baby. When a baby comes on this planet Earth, the brain is zero. All the baby knows how to do is cry and suck on some titty. That's what God gave it. Cry, eat. Cry, mama, I'm hungry. Titty, nipple, suck. Just like a puppy. After that, the environment of that baby and the parents develop the mind. Develops the mind of that child. Same thing with us as dog men. You want a top tier fucking high performance type dog, you're going to put that dog in those type of scenarios. And some dogs learn faster than others. That doesn't mean that that dog that's a slow learner is not going to be the better one when it's all said and done. But I digress. I digress off of that. Let me show this. Let me share my screen now. Let me share my screen. Big salute to all you guys. Big salute to everybody in the chat. We're going to cook. Okay. So I got this video that I want to show and share with all my brethren. Okay, which is going to tie into the topic tonight. Okay. Hold on. Y'all see the screen? I know,
Yeah.
Rick, I know K-Man probably can't see it, but you'll be able to hear it, K-Man. This video is about thoroughbred horses. And, you know, I did that masterclass on how thoroughbred breeding correlates to competition dog breeding. If y'all missed it, go watch it again and again and again and again so you can learn something, because that's how I mimic my program. I just wish I had the money. If I had the money, my program will be even colder than what it is. If I had the money that they have, right? If I had the resource, all the shit that they have, my program would be in the heavens, nigga. Tip of the top of the heavens. That's where my program will be. But it is what it is. God will get me there one of these days. I believe. I have faith will work. I'm putting the work in. But anyway, tied into the topic, the subject of this video is, do the greatest racehorses always become the greatest sires? Man of War Secretariat, Dr. Fagar. Okay. Do the greatest racehorses always become the greatest sires? Now, pay attention in class, because there's a lot of theorists that be talking about shit, because they talk about it and they don't do it. But over here, you have a coach that does it, did it, does it, and doing it. Okay. So I'm teaching you guys out of experience, and I'm giving you guys something to relate to. And if you want to follow and mimic something when you're breeding competition animals, what best to mimic than thoroughbred racehorses? What best to mimic than them? So pay attention in class. Let's play.
Do the greatest racehorses always become the greatest sires? The answer isn't as simple as you might think. While some champions like Seattle Slew built lasting bloodlines, others like Secretariat struggled to pass on their brilliance. The truth is,
Hold on, I got to, I'm do some stopping now. You heard what he said about Secretariat?
Yep.
Some, like Secretariat, struggled to pass on
Struggle
their
to pass on.
brilliance.
Yeah.
Some, like Secretariat, struggled to pass on their. Oh my God, we only breed best to the best. We only breed. Let's carry on. I mean, come on, please pay attention to class. Coach already taught this shit a long time ago. Let's pay attention to class.
Stallion's legacy isn't always immediate. Sometimes their impact is felt decades later. So how did the top 10 racehorses of the 20th century fare at stud? Let's dive into the fascinating world of breeding and uncover the surprises. At number 1, we have Man O' War, a racehorse whose influence on breeding is nothing short of extraordinary. Born in 1917, this legendary stallion not only dominated the track, but also left a genetic legacy that continues to shape modern racing. His sire, Fair Play, was known for passing on a mix of speed and stamina, while his dam, Mahuba, brought elite endurance from the English Triple Crown winner, Roxanne. These traits made Man O' War a game changer in breeding, siring some of the most successful racehorses in history. Among his greatest progeny was War Admiral, the 1937 Triple Crown champion, and Battleship, the first American-bred horse to conquer the English Grand National. His bloodline also led to racing giants like Seattle Slew, Dr. Fager, and Kelso, ensuring his dominance extended across generations. Despite breeding fewer mares than modern stallions, he sired an astounding 64 stakes winners, making him the leading sire of 1926. His descendants still shape today's pedigrees, with influential stallions like Danzig, Mr. Prospector, and Sadler's Wells tracing back to him. Even beyond flat racing, his genes produced elite show jumpers and steeplechasers, proving his versatility across equestrian sports. Man O' War didn't just sire winners, he built a dynasty. Next, we have Secretariat, the 1973 Triple Crown winner, whose sheer dominance on the track remains unmatched. Known as Big Red, he was a racing marvel, setting records that still stand today. However, his impact as a sire tells a more complex story. While he sired over 660 foals, many failed to replicate his on-track brilliance. Yet,
many failed to replicate his on-track brilliance. Okay? Many failed, even though they still trusted the DNA, right? Okay? So you got these freaks that we talk about. Okay? Doesn't mean you're going to get freaks in return. Doesn't mean that, but let's carry on.
Secretariat's legacy in breeding is far from a disappointment. His daughter, Weekend Surprise, produced AP Indy, a Belmont Stakes winner and one of the most influential sires of modern times. Another daughter, Terlingua, gave rise to Stormcat, a stallion whose bloodline shaped generations of champions, including Justify and American Pharaoh, while his direct male offspring, like Risen Star and General Assembly, found success. His true genetic power lay in his daughters. He became the leading broodmare sire in 1992, proving that his DNA was a crucial ingredient for elite racing pedigrees. His influence extends through the maternal line, with his genes appearing in Hall of Fame inductees and Triple Crown winners. Though Secretariat may not have been the dominant stallion many expected, his lasting impact as a broodmare sire solidifies his place as one of the most influential sires in history. His unparalleled...
Okay, so his genetics passed on through his daughters, but the reason why that shit worked out is because of that cross with them other males with his genes. But he didn't produce no top tier producers damn near as far as his males go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all paying attention? Okay. Please pay attention. Go ahead. You got something to say, K-Man?
Yeah, see, notice how it skips a generation.
Right.
And that's why people try to inbreed, so that when it skips, you're just skipping right back to the same stuff.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yep. But because they wanted it so bad, that's why they kept breeding them 600 times. They're like, oh, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Yeah, we're gonna get it. Come on. We're gonna hit the lottery.
So would you call, so even though he's a champion with the running and all of that, the performance, but he's not prepotent and all that. Is he half champion, half piece of shit?
No, hell no. But he's just not prepotent. He's not prepotent, like they said, right? Now, this is where you got to have patience. And shout out to K-Man for this, right? This is where you got to have patience. If you trust the DNA, right? And because they breed everything, they got what they wanted to see somewhat through the females.
Right.
Right? So let's say his females was mediocre on the track and you do how these dog men do, you don't breed her because she's mediocre on the track, you would have never known if you would have got anything that was worthwhile. Then he would have been a piece of shit when it came to breeding. Because you just taking performance off of if you should breed him or not. But being that you so invested, you probably paid $250,000 for that goddamn semen. What, $150,000 for the semen? So of course you're gonna breed that female if she wasn't top tier on the racetrack. Of course you're gonna breed that male if he wasn't top tier on the racetrack, because you got to get your investment back.
Yep.
You're not calling them out. You're like, well, damn, this is, you know what you're saying? This is a secretariat daughter. This is a secretariat son. I'm gonna breed that. And then one more thing. Just because you got the blood, don't mean you know how to match it correctly.
Facts.
You might not be breeding it with the right pair that's gonna get that explosion. Now, 600 times, I mean, God damn it, man. You should figure it out by then. But like they said, he was lackluster when it came to that, but his daughters carried the torch for him. His daughters carried the torch for him. So, you know.
They carried his mother's torch.
Why you say his mother's torch?
Well, because they got their one of their X chromosomes from him, and he got that from his mother.
Ah, got it. Okay.
So the secret formula sounds like breeding Secretariat's mother to the right male.
So yes, I get it, K-Man. That's why his daughters is carrying the torch on. Because maybe that's the reason why he is who he is, because his mother fucking popped that shit. You're right. I didn't even think of it like that. That's why his daughters is carrying on the torch, because it's like you said, they're his mother. Damn. Okay.
That's dope.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all paid attention to what K-Man just said, because I just learned something, and it made sense to how he described it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta pay attention to the data. The data tells it all. I'm sure they know that. I'm sure they know what you just said too, K-Man. I'm sure they know that as well, because I'm sure they study everything. But let's carry on.
Stamina, power, and heart continue to shape racing, proving that sometimes the best sires leave their mark in ways beyond direct success. At number 3, we have Citation, a horse whose racing dominance is unquestioned, but whose impact as a sire fell far short of expectations. The first thoroughbred to earn over $1 million, Citation was a Triple Crown champion and a near-invincible force on the racetrack. However, the brilliance he displayed on the track failed to fully translate to his offspring. His most notable progeny, Fabius, won the 1956 Preakness Stakes, but failed to establish a lasting bloodline. Silver Spoon, a Hall of Fame filly, was his best overall descendant, making a mark by defeating colts in the Santa Anita Derby, and later influencing elite European bloodlines. Other Citation-sired runners, such as Guadalcanal and Get Around, earned respectable purses, but never reached their sire's level of greatness. Despite producing 12 stakes winners, only 4.4% of his foals achieved stakes success, a far lower rate than expected for a Triple Crown winner of his caliber. Much like Secretariat, Citation ultimately found his greatest genetic impact through his daughters, whose influence subtly weaved into future generations. His legacy as a sire may be overshadowed by his legendary racing career, but his name still holds weight in the lineage of modern champions. Citation serves as yet another reminder that a dominant racehorse doesn't always translate into a dominant stallion.
Did you hear that? A dominant racehorse does not always translate into a dominant stallion. Yeah. Did you guys hear that in class?
Yep.
You theorists, just talking about shit because it sound good. It is what it is. Everybody got their lane. Okay, but when you over here in this classroom, this is the tip of the top of the spear of this classroom. We dogman nerds, we learn about it all. We test everything. We really know how to cook dogs up. We trust the DNA. Okay, we just don't assume because the spirit in you made you a Michael Jordan. The spirit in you made you a John Elway, a fucking Peyton Manning, or whatever freak of athlete you ever can imagine. The spirit made that man that woman that. The DNA is the DNA. You got to trust the DNA. And how you trust the DNA with these top tier spirited animals who win, you got to trust the DNA for the ones who don't. Let's carry on.
Proving that genetics and breeding success remain unpredictable forces in the sport. Coming in at number 4.
Genetics and breeding success remains what? Ready?
Unformed.
Unpredictable, baby.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable, baby. This shit is unpredictable. That's why we test everything. That's why the motherfuckers in the back be talking that dumbass shit, that theorist shit, because they don't do it. We say, sounds good, spectator. You ignorant motherfuckers, y'all don't do this shit. You dumb. You don't know how to do this shit. You don't qualify. Shut your ass up and sit your ass back down in the stands where you belong. You don't know how to do this shit. You didn't study this shit. You ain't never bred all kind of shit to know better. You only know what you heard. Spectator, let's keep it going.
Is War Admiral, a Triple Crown winner and Hall of Fame racehorse who carved out an enduring legacy, not just for his own accomplishments, but for the champions he helped produce. The son of the legendary Man o' War, War Admiral inherited both his sire's fighting spirit and competitive fire, yet his career in the breeding shed was more respectable than revolutionary. He was the leading sire in North America in 1945, proving his ability to produce elite runners, even if none fully matched his own dominance. War Admiral was a good sire, producing numerous successful offspring, further solidifying his status in thoroughbred history. Among his best offspring were Busher, a sensational filly who became Horse of the Year, and Busanda, who later produced the influential stallion Buckpasser, a major force in thoroughbred breeding. Blue Peter and Admiral V were also successful stakes winners, showcasing War Admiral's ability to pass down speed and endurance. At stud, he produced several stakes winners, most notably Mr. Longhorn, but none of his progeny emerged as superstars on the level of their sire. Instead, his daughters played a crucial role in shaping future bloodlines, with his genes appearing in generations of elite racehorses. At number 5, we have Count Fleet, the 1943 Triple Crown winner and a horse whose dominance on the racetrack carried over into a remarkable stud career. Count Fleet wasn't just a champion, he was a generational influence, siring an extraordinary 3-generation sequence of classic winners. His most notable direct offspring included Kentucky Derby winner Count Turf and Belmont Stakes champions Counterpoint and One Count, proving his ability to pass down both speed and endurance. However, Count Fleet's legacy extends far beyond his own folds. He is the maternal grandsire of Prince John, a key foundation stallion whose genetic influence runs through Cosine, Alleged, and Riverman, major sires who shaped European and American racing alike. While his direct sire line faded, his broodmare daughters carried on his influence, proving once again that a stallion's greatness isn't always measured by his own sons, but rather by the champions that come through his daughters' bloodlines.
Damn. We see a common denominator, huh?
Word.
Yeah, maybe that's why nature does that.
Elaborate, caveman.
Well, in wild animal herds, the females stick together and the fittest male breeds them. But they kick the males out, when they're breeding age, but the females stay together.
And so that's why they pass on the best genes, because that one female gets to experiment with all the top tier females. Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, and there's something to that mitochondria that you get from the female. That's the powerhouse of the cells. And one thing, kicking the males out, by the time a male comes back to his own herd, he's 3 or 4 generations removed from the herd.
Right.
Before he's breeding back into his own family. And I'm gonna guess that Man o' War was bred to a female off of his mother's side to produce that War Admiral.
Okay. Let's keep it going.
Count Fleet's mark on thoroughbred breeding is undeniable, as his genes continue to shape elite racehorses decades after his time on the track. At number 6,
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
We have Dr. Fager, a horse known for unparalleled speed and versatility, setting world records that still stand today. On the track, he was untouchable, winning championship titles in 4 different divisions in the same year, an unmatched feat in racing history. However, in the breeding shed, his dominance didn't translate directly into top-tier sires. Though he sired champions like Dearly Precious, a U.S. champion filly, and Dr. Patches, a champion sprinter, his stallion career was cut short after just 8 crops, limiting his influence. But while his direct sire line faded, Dr. Fager's name remains vital through his daughters. His most influential broodmare daughters, Demure, Killaloe, and Remedia, produced some of the most important sires of modern times. He is the broodmare sire of Fapiano, who became the foundation of a powerful sire line that includes Unbridled, Empire Maker, and American Pharaoh. He also appears in the pedigrees of elite racehorses like Quiet American and Commendable, ensuring his genes live on in the sport's greatest champions. Though Dr. Fager may not be as visible in modern pedigrees as Native Dancer or Mr. Prospector, his contributions through his daughters cement him as a quiet yet essential force in thoroughbred breeding. At number 7, we have Native Dancer, a racehorse whose legacy goes far beyond the track. Known as the Grey Ghost, he won 21 of his 22 starts, becoming racing's first television superstar and capturing the imagination of an entire generation. But while his dominance on the track was impressive, his influence in the breeding shed was game-changing. Native Dancer is considered one of the most influential post-World War II sires, with nearly every modern thoroughbred tracing back to him. His greatest contribution to the breed came through his 2 legendary offspring, Reza Native and Natalma. Reza Native became the sire of Alidar, Mr. Prospector, one of the most dominant stallions in history, whose lineage includes champions like American Pharaoh, Curlin, and Fusaichi Pegasus. Natalma, on the other hand, produced Northern Dancer, arguably the most important stallion of the 20th century, with his bloodlines shaping European and American racing through champions like Sadler's Wells, Galileo, and Frankel. Additionally, Native Dancer is the paternal grandsire of Seabird, one of Europe's greatest racehorses, and the maternal grandsire of Ruffian, one of the most brilliant fillies in racing history. His genetic impact is impossible to overstate. Native Dancer reshaped thoroughbred breeding, and today, nearly every elite racehorse carries a piece of his bloodline. He wasn't just a great stallion, he was a revolutionary force who forever changed the sport. At number 8, we have Affirmed.
So that means he was prepotent.com. Okay. That's a prepotent stallion right there.
Yeah.
Damn show. Which
He
is
was hitting that in, man.
hey, few and far between is some a horse or a dog or an animal that can perform at an elite level and produce that in his offspring. That's rare, and obviously he's proven that. So let's carry on.
The 1978 Triple Crown winner cemented his place in racing history with a legendary rivalry against Alidar, battling neck and neck in all 3 classic races. Trained by Las Barrera and ridden by Steve Cawthon, who became the youngest jockey to win the Triple Crown, Affirmed was a model of consistency and determination. He earned Horse of the Year honors in 1978 and 1979, showcasing his brilliance beyond the Triple Crown. However, his impact as a sire was moderate at best. While he produced some quality racehorses, including Flawlessly, a Hall of Fame turf star, and Piteski, the 1993 Canadian Triple Crown winner, he failed to sire a true superstar that could carry on his male line. Other notable progeny, such as Charlie Barley and Affirmed Success, found success in stakes races, but none reached the heights of their sire. Though Affirmed's racing career remains legendary, his influence as a stallion never matched the dominance he displayed on the track. At number 9, we have Seattle Slew, the 1977 Triple Crown winner, was not only a dominant racehorse, but also one of the most influential sires in modern thoroughbred breeding. Unlike many other Triple Crown champions, his brilliance translated into the breeding shed, making him a transformational stallion. He was North America's leading sire in 1984, producing elite racehorses such as AP Indy, the 1992 Horse of the Year, who went on to become a dominant sire. Through AP Indy, Seattle Slew's legacy extends to Bernardini, Mineshaft, and even California Chrome, making his influence undeniable in modern pedigrees. Other notable offspring include Slew of Gold, a multiple Grade 1 winner, and Swale, who won the Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes in 1984, before his untimely death. Unlike Affirmed, whose impact as a sire was modest, Seattle Slew's bloodline continues to thrive today, influencing many of the top racehorses of the modern era. His greatness was not only displayed on the track, but also in the breeding shed, where his male line remains one of the most significant in thoroughbred history. Rounding out our list at number 10 is Spectacular Bid, widely regarded as one of the greatest racehorses of all time. With an astonishing 26 wins in 30 starts and a world record-setting performance in the 1980 Woodward Stakes, his dominance on the track was nearly unmatched, but his stud career did not live up to expectations. Syndicated for a then-record $22 million, he failed to produce a top-tier sire, and his direct male line eventually faded. However, his legacy found new life through his daughters, as he became a broodmare sire of champions. His maternal grandson, Mozart, was an elite sprinter whose early death prevented a lasting impact at stud. Other notable descendants include Amanita, a Group 1 winning filly, and Cara Raffaella, the dam of Bernardini, who became a U.S. champion and influential stallion. Despite his underwhelming stud career, Spectacular Bid remains an icon in horse racing history, remembered for his unparalleled brilliance on the track rather than his contributions in the breeding shed. And that wraps up our deep dive into whether the greatest racehorses became the greatest sires. What's your take? Do you think racing brilliance always translates to breeding success? Let us know in the comments.
Okay, let me remove that off of there before we get started. So what do y'all think about that? I mean, I know you guys, of course we know. Well, I mean, anything you guys want to add to what we just saw about the thoroughbreds and how, these top tier sires aren't guaranteed, to produce. Some of them do, some of them don't. Do you understand why the females produce, better?
Everything's hit or miss on the male side, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything is hit and miss, period, right?
Period, yeah.
Yeah, it's hit and miss, period.
But you got more of a percentage of getting it with the females.
And there's a reason why that works itself out. What Caveman said is correct, right? But just think about F1s, right? Hold on, Verde, hold on. You there, Verde?
My bad, coach. I got a call. I tried to deny it, but I end up accepting the callbacks.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. But okay, so like with the females, right? You got that cross game going on. When you take that stud to that female and you get that explosion of genetics, then that combination re-triggers things, and then boom. You know what I mean? And like K-Man said, with that mitochondrial DNA, because they hold a heavier influence on it, depending on if that sire is prepotent or not, then whatever that stud line lacked in its production, that addition to that male to that female should bring it out. And I think that's why a lot of those brood mares became their sire's legacy, and the studs didn't, because that stud just didn't have that prepotency, and that mitochondrial DNA just kind of played enough to where, you know what I'm saying, it carried on whatever was in that sire, and then it added on to that new sire that she was bred to, and then the offspring came out better. That's how I would see it. Of course, it's theory, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I would see it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's still theory at the end of it all.
I don't know. It kind of coincides to what Caveman said last week, where he said like the males don't really, what they just give to the female, they don't give to the male, but the female gives to both the male and the female. Was that what you were saying, Caveman?
I don't remember
Something
what you're
similar to that?
talking about, chickens, because that's how chicken color works.
But as far as like genetics go, with the males, with only being able to throw one chromosome compared to that female, it's like you taking 2 chromosomes to a new sire compared to that one sire taking his 1 chromosome to a female that has 2. Like, if I'm saying that right, like
Yeah,
your
that's kind of
female,
like what I'm saying.
yeah, it's like your female got more the, like it's like what you said, K-Man, like by mother nature. It's kind of crazy because it's like the female is going to have the genetic plate from the mom and the dad, and it's not going to be too much past the threshold where it's all like it might not be the best producer on the track or the best performer on the track, but it might be a very good producer to carry on his line. So the females play a very important role, but I see also where the studs play the role, because once again, it's like when we're talking about adding on and we're breeding, it just makes more sense to breed like that. It's like you got a female that got 2 genetic plays and you want to add on, not take away. So it's like I think I see why the females actually have the genetic play that they have compared to the male.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
K-Man.
I understand all of it on what all's carried on the X chromosome. That's like a lot of the reproductive stuff. But before I knew any of this terminology, I just copied nature, and that's what nature does: is collects the daughters from the winners and breeds them to different unrelated winners.
Okay.
Another thing is hard culling. Like depending on what you're talking about, it could be 1% or 10% of what was born actually lives to sexual maturity.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And of course, that's nature's law, but see, man manipulates what they want to see from nature. So, and that's why I say when you're actually producing animals, you got to trust the DNA at the end of it, because you never know. And, all you got to do is look at your own family dynamic and your brothers and your sisters and who they marry. And, you get to see your nephews, and you get to see your nephews compared to your kids. And you know what I mean? Like, you get to see that. And then you see a stud coming from your fucking brother when you used to beat your brother. You used to beat your brother up all the time. He's the one that crying to mama and shit. We grown men now. We ain't doing that to each other. But, we still remember we was kids. And then you compare your damn nephew to your own sons. You like, damn, nephew, you damn near, you love your son. You like, damn, I like my nephew more than I like my son. You came off my little brother. We used to beat his ass and shit. He used to cry to mama and shit all the time. Mama, they keep picking on me. But damn near he produced the fucking stud. Like, that shit is real. But in the dog world, my little brother that we used to beat up, we would have called his ass and shit. We would have called him and shit. Like, that's how people think in these goddamn dogs. Now, with nature's law, okay, nature's law is survival of the fittest. So that small dog, that small lion, when it comes to nature, might be the fucking best lion. It might have got fucked up playing around with all his siblings and shit. But when he became mature and used his brain, used his small frame, his cunningness, he became superior. Okay? And the big ones maybe been slow, maybe too big, maybe wasn't as smart. Nature takes over that. Nature's law. They get caught up in a situation where they die, they get sick fast, whatever. They thinking they fighting too many motherfuckers and they get killed. That's nature's law. But man, we manipulate nature's law. We manipulate it. Okay? But let's tie into this subject matter tonight. Let's kick this classroom off tonight, man. I just wanted to open up with that because, like I said, I mimic my program. off of thoroughbred horse racing. They got the most data. I believe in what they do. Only thing that they have different than what I have, two things. They got more money and they have a closed stud book. I'm leaning towards how they produced and how they created the thoroughbred. I'm leaning towards that. I'm leaning towards hybrid vigor horses like Secretariat, Freaks. So I take what I need in my program and mimic that. Okay. So because they breed the highest level of competition animals and they breed beautiful competition animals, that's what I want to follow. So that's why I wanted to show you that so that we got something to relate to. Live Your Life Dogs, big salute to you. Manny, my brother, big salute to you. Cash Dog Enterprise, big salute to you. RHEDDTX, big salute to you. All y'all, man, big salute to y'all, man. Welcome to the classroom. We cooking tonight, man. We cooking tonight. So we're going to get the assistant head coach, Miss ChatGPT. And I want to, again, shout out to Miss ChatGPT. One thing about ChatGPT is that most people don't know how to use ChatGPT. Most people use ChatGPT like they use Google and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not how you use ChatGPT. Okay? Most people don't have the paid version of ChatGPT, right? So when they use it, it's just basic and shit. You know what I mean? They just get basic shit. They don't know how to correct ChatGPT when she's wrong. They don't know how to input the information in there because they use it a lot for a lot of different things. ChatGPT is like having an Encyclopedia Britannica. Y'all remember Encyclopedia Britannica? I know K-Man do, Ready do, Verde. That might be way ahead of your time. Y'all remember Encyclopedia?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like our internet right now. That was the encyclopedia. Okay. If your parents bought you that, thank you. Thank your parents for that. Because I think mine, I was always in my shit. Curious George, all the shit. That from alphabetical order, anything you could know, they put in them encyclopedias, right? So ChatGPT is like an encyclopedia. It just scrolls the internet. But one thing that people fail to realize, the power of ChatGPT is what you feed that bitch. How you direct it. It's like if you're a programmer, that's what's so good about AI. If you're good at programming it, it'll spit you out what you want. There's a lot of people that their brains and shit, they got fucking tiny brains. Their brains is there, but they use not even the 10% that they say average people use. They use like 2%. They're just basic with the shit. Me, I'm a thinking man, man. I'm a thinking man. I feed that bitch. I feed her because I pay for my shit. I pay monthly for my shit. I pay for it. So I'm going to use my shit correctly, like I use the encyclopedia. So shout out to Miss ChatGPT because she paid attention to what we've been feeding her over the fucking course of the time that we've been using her. Okay, just for this dog conversation. And she gives us a basic outline for us to just elaborate on. Okay, because I use her for a classroom setting. Okay, that's what I use her for. Give us some basic outlines of it, and then we can elaborate. That's all I need her for this, but she pays attention. She gives us a nice little breakdown. So we're going to use her tonight. Shout out to Miss ChatGPT, the paid version. Okay, and thank the Lord that, you know, the coach know how to use her right, and I'm grateful for her. She helps me out a lot, like the encyclopedia did. A lot of motherfuckers didn't use the encyclopedia. A lot of motherfuckers can't even read. I digress. Let's keep it going. Let me add it on the stage. Let me make it big right here. Okay, so with the title tonight, let me read the title again. Okay, performance versus production. Why elite dogs and horses don't always reproduce greatness. We're going to dig deep into this in the classroom. Pay attention to class. If you got a short attention span, leave now. Get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We're here to learn. You don't want to learn? Get the fuck out the classroom. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no dummies in this bitch anyway. But if you want to learn, pay attention. You might learn something. You might fucking learn something. You might not throw the fucking best producer in the trash just because they're not your best performers. You might not throw the best producer in the trash. After this, I guarantee it. Here we go. Below is a clear, no-nonsense breakdown of why elite competition dogs and elite thoroughbred racehorses follow the same genetic rules, and why even the very best performers often fail to reproduce themselves, while some mediocre performers become legendary producers. This is one of the most misunderstood areas in breeding, and it trips up even experienced breeders. Number one, performance does not equal reproduction. Let me repeat that. Performance does not equal reproduction. The first hard truth. I know that's hard. I know that's hard for a lot of you motherfuckers in the back. You motherfuckers who don't think, use your brain, you don't experiment, you're not an artist. You don't have no talent when it comes to breeding animals. You're just theorists. You trace other people who did it before you, who are the real talent. I know it's hard for you. I know this is a hard truth, but you're going to learn tonight in the back. You in the back, you're going to learn tonight. In both dogs and horses, performance is an individual expression. We know that. I bet you in the back you didn't know that. Reproduction is a statistical genetics. Is statistical genetics. Let me repeat that again. Reproduction is statistical genetics. A top performer is a genetic lottery winner. We know that. We learned that in our class. A perfect alignment of genes plus development plus environment plus opportunity. Let's do that math again. A perfect alignment of genes. Okay. Yeah, we like that. Dogs with great genes. We love that, right? Okay. Development. Oh, shit. That's what we were talking about. Development of dog. The mind, the body, the spirit, mind, body, spirit development. Oh, yeah. They don't know this, though, but pay attention. Now you learn tonight. Development. Environment. Where that dog was born at. Who owns that dog? How'd you shape the dog's environment? How did you develop that dog's environment? How did you? So, environment, opportunity, right? The opportunity. What are you going to do? What opportunities are you going to give that dog to be great? A top producer is a reliable transmitter of specific traits across many offspring. These are not the same thing. Do you guys understand? Number one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we need to add anything, or we can move on? You don't want to add anything? We hit it. What?
Yeah, that's
I mean, there's no questions in the chat.
yeah.
Okay, we can carry on. We already know this, but
Yeah,
no,
we
she
do.
hit.
Saying unless there's somebody new here that needs a breakdown.
Okay. Ready? You see anything? TSD, my brother, big salute. Big salute. All right, let's carry on. Number two, why elite performers often don't reproduce themselves. A, polygenic traits, stat traits problem. Okay, so let me repeat that. A, polygenic traits, parentheses, stat traits problem. Most elite performance traits are polygenic. Speed, endurance, drive, nerve, recovery, pain tolerance, coordination. A superstar performer often has a perfect storm of many rare gene combinations. I understand that. When bred, those genes separate and reshuffle. Offspring gets parts of the package, not the whole thing. This is why cloning wouldn't even guarantee the same result. Oh, shit. Y'all want to elaborate on number two?
Okay. So
I
these
say
dogs are only getting
we
like
know that it doesn't work.
yeah, we know this already, but the people that are cloning their pets thinking that they're getting the same dog aren't getting the same dog. Nowhere near the same dog. Just the same color.
They're getting the same fucking body it was in, but it's not the same spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, does everybody knows what polygenic means? I take it. I didn't hear a definition.
Go ahead, K-Man, come on.
Well, poly just means many. It usually indicates more than two which so polygenic means that it takes multiple traits to give you that one trait that you expressed. You know, like the stuff you listed, like speed, endurance, and all that.
That's the polys.
Yep.
Okay, good. You guys heard that from K, man? You heard that from Reddy? Y'all better pay attention in class.
Yep. Same with like a polyhybrid.
Elaborate.
It's the same. Poly, you know, poly means multiple, and hybrid, of course, is a cross. But in a polyhybrid, there's, you know, 3 or more crosses.
Okay.
That's why a lot of people don't see consistency in their breeding, especially in their plants, because there's been so many different things mixed in it.
Okay. All right. We done hit the nail on the head with number 2. Let's carry on. B. We're on part B of number 2. Non-heritable advantages. Excuse me. Some advantages do not pass genetically. Okay. Exceptional training timing. Handler chemistry. Nutrition windows. Injury avoidance. Mental imprinting. This applies equally to world-class IPO and Mondo Ring dogs, Triple Crown level racehorses. Okay, does that make sense? Non-heritable advantages, all the influences that could make your dog top tier or your horse top tier. Does that make sense with B?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. B is to those people who throw them damn dogs out that just don't show you shit based off of talent. B is for y'all in the back.
Colors.
That cold dogs that you don't put no time in. Just for y'all. Okay. B, pay attention to B now. Let's keep it going. C, dominant versus recessive masking. A top performer may carry flaws masked by dominance. Weak ligaments, poor hips, thin nerve under stress, low recovery. Those flaws can show up hard in offspring. You guys get that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, let's get number 3 now. Unless y'all want to elaborate. Y'all ready for number 3? You can keep moving. Number 3, the flip side. Why some average performers are great producers. A, genetic stability over genetic brilliance. Great producers often are genetically balanced, carry fewer extremes, have cleaner inheritance patterns. They may never dominate competition, but their offspring are consistently good. Not just one standout, but many solid performers. In horses, this is how certain stallions with average race records dominate breeding sheds. In dogs, this is how producer studs are born. You guys get number 3?
Yeah.
Yep. That's kind of how it works with double muscle gene and greyhounds. They of course can't beat a top performing greyhound, but their offspring can.
Wow. So, okay, so why is that? So what does that double muscle gene give to the offspring?
Well, that double muscle is a recessive trait, so they got to have 2 copies to have it. So his offspring would only have 1 copy. They'd be a carrier, and gives them some kind of boost.
Okay.
But they don't.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know. So it gives them a boost because their dad carried both copies because they came off of a dog that had double muscle. You know, they're not showing it. You know, it gives them an advantage.
That's what they.
Okay. Let's go to B. Prepotency, the kingmaker trait. Shout out to our classroom. We taught about all this shit. If y'all want to really learn, go back. You know what I mean? Pay attention in class, take notes. If you're really serious about your craft, you're going to learn something. You're going to take some notes, man. We grown ass men nowadays. Grown women. I hope y'all grown. You know what I mean? Hope y'all ain't in school doing what y'all was doing when y'all was in high school and middle school, not paying attention in class, not doing your homework, not studying. You know, when you have a passion for something, you're going to study because you want to learn. You're not going to learn just fucking listening to people. You need to go do your homework, okay? I share this screen on here so you guys can read it for yourself. If you got ChatGPT and you know how to use it, fucking do your own research. Pay attention in class because we talked about prepotency. So she says prepotency is the kingmaker trait, which I agree. I agree. Here he is. A prepotent producer stamps their traits regardless of mate, produces similar offspring repeatedly. Prepotency often comes from line breeding, genetic concentration, reduced variability. But prepotency can stamp bad traits too if misused. Number 4, the Secretariat lesson. Horses. Secretariat, possibly the greatest racehorse ever. Freak physiology. Legendary performer, but he did not reproduce himself. Well, we found that out. Why? His brilliance was a unique combination, not a transmissible package. Transmissible package. Let me read that again. His brilliance was a unique combination, but not a transmissible package. His sons were better producers than racers. Damn it. His influence showed up one generation later, not immediately. This same pattern happens consistently in dogs, which we agree. We already learned that. Number 5, the Jeep/Frisco pattern dogs. In working dogs, some dogs are once in a generation competitors, yet throw inconsistent litters. Meanwhile, their siblings or lesser known relatives quietly become cornerstone producers. Why? The producer carries the ingredients. The superstar was the final recipe. Y'all get that when it came to the dogs?
Yep. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's why you got to test everything in every aspect of what you want in them dogs. If you want great producers, you test those. If you want great fucking performance, you test those. One might not be the same as the other. Now, if you buying a dog from the coach because you like, I'm competing with this dog, then you don't give a fuck about that being a producer. You want the performer. But if you somebody who's like, hey, coach, I need that DNA, coach, then, you might be looking for the producer. But the only way we know that is that we got to test every single one of those fucking puppies. Every single one of those offspring has to be tested in the breeding shed and on the track or whatever you might have it competing at. You got to test everything.
Shit. I want the one that's doing both.
Facts.
Well,
I want both.
Hey, you better hit the fucking genetic lottery then, ready? Because even
We got a few
Secretary can do
questions in
that.
the comments.
What'd you say?
that's-
What'd you say, Verde?
We got a few questions in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Kari and TSD.
Okay. Salute only the counselor. Big salute to you, brother.
A little counsel.
Let's see. Okay, so we'll do TESD. So he says, so a recessive gene being passed. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go to the first one here. He says, so when the genes get reshuffled, is getting a random gene to his offspring. I'm gonna let K-Man answer that. That's TESD. He asked that question. So when the genes get reshuffled, getting a random gene to his offspring. Go ahead, K-Man.
Yeah, because the strands of DNA actually rip in half. They mash together and then they rip in half. So it's like tearing a sheet of paper. You don't know where it's going to break. So some of them sections you might not even get from your one parent. And then, it's split in two. So what copy did you get, when it split? There's two puppies. They got two different copies from dad, and they got, a copy each that's different. And same with her DNA split in half. They only have half of it. Which half do they have? And which half of their dads do they have? You got, 4 different combinations right there.
Hey, TESD, hopefully you understand what K-Man said. He broke that down pretty good.
That's why it's so random, because when the egg tears randomly like that, the sperm has to do the same to match. Like it has to have the parts that's missing.
Okay. Thank you, K-Man. The Bakari asks, he says, how hard is it to get a superstar that also can produce himself? It's very hard, the Bakari. It's very hard. You know what I mean? Because, again, like she told us, that individual, if that individual wants it that bad to be a superstar, it can be a superstar. That's why you can never judge. You ever heard the old saying? Of course we have. Never judge a book by its cover. So how you would pick something based off of how it looks and be like, oh, that's the one. And then that smaller one be the top tier performer. We've all seen that shit happen. I know I have.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, the one you picked wasn't the one. And then the one you fucking threw out under the table thought it wasn't shit because based off how it looked was the top tier performer. Okay, boom. But then again, the breeding part of it is a whole different play because you have to match that animal to the right fucking bitch. When you are line breeding and things of that nature, there's a reason why you line breeding. Right? You're not looking for the top tier performers when you're line breeding. You might just want to stay the same. So when you created this superstar, you know that shit was an anomaly. You know you hit the lottery, you hit the jackpot. So you can pray to God all the time, which I do when I breed. Nothing goes wrong. My puppies survive. Everything's good. You know, all the shit you're supposed to pray for when you're praying to God about your productions. But then every now and then, God blesses you with that animal who has the spirit of Michael Jordan in him. The spirit of Secretariat in him. Every now and then. But that spirit you can't reproduce. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yep.
Can't nobody take Michael Jordan out of his body and put him in another body. Only one can do that is God. That's the only one who can do that. We can clone Michael Jordan's body. Like how she was talking about the clones. You can make the body, the shell, look the way it used to look.
But the soul ain't in there.
The soul is not there. Thank you, Reddy. Thank you, Reddy. So that's why the Bakari, hopefully I answered your question. I know it was kind of long-winded, But that's why you can't it's hard to reproduce a superstar, because you can't you can't clone a soul. I don't care how good you are at matching genetics. And that's why I tell you guys, I know better than that. I want better than AK. I don't want the same fucking AK. Because I can't reproduce him. He can reproduce his likeness. Does that make sense? His likeness.
Yeah.
But I know AK Soul is his own. And me as a breeder, hopefully I can put the genetic fucking explosion in there to fucking have a dog that has the talent genetically to be a freak like his daddy, but then now it's up to me to develop the mind, to develop the soul, to where in competition he surpasses his dad or his mother. But that's very hard to do. It's very hard to do. Very hard to do. We got the anthro bulldogology. Salute, brother. Big salute. Let's carry on, man. Good questions. Keep your questions in there. Let me know, when it gets, kind of long-winded in the chat, so I can stop and answer you guys, okay? So let me make sure. All right, and then we'll get back to it after we go through all these key points too. I'll answer y'all's questions. All right, so here we go. Number 5. Okay, I think we did that one. Number 6, outcross versus line breeding. Why both matters. Line breeding, pros: increase predictability, builds prepotency, locks in traits. Cons: exposes recessive flaws, narrows margin for error. Outcrossing, pros: adds hybrid vigor, which of course coach's favorite, because that's how I get my freaks and my podium dogs. Restores health, can unlock hidden traits. Cons: less predictable, more variability in offspring. Elite breeders alternate intelligently. They do not pick size. Okay? So you guys get that one, because this one right here is very important to us. All of you who are high performance working dog men and dog women engineers, this theory right here is important to us. Because you got to have a rhyme or reason why you're doing these different breeding methods. That's why I shared my formula to you guys. That's why I shared my formula when I had the interview on Gerald's platform. Because I want freaks and podium dogs, first, second, third rank type dogs, and I'm producing individuals. I'm not going to heavy line breed. I'm not going to be heavy on the outcrossing either. So you have to use these methods intelligently. You have to have a rhyme or reason why you're doing your breeding. Now, if you just want to say, I got an established line and I got a family of dogs that's all off of one line based off of your line breeding, then that's what you want to do. That's what you do. But you're not going to have the best competition animals breeding that way. And that's proven. That's proven. It's proven. There's something about that explosion of genetics. And there's something about engineers who know how to lock in them things without fucking up the vigor. There's something about those type dog men that make them stand out amongst all the regular ones who just fucking trace other dog men. They just trace theories and shit. They don't practice theories and assess their work and see, like, yo, this shit ain't getting me no further. Yeah, I'm 6 generations in, but my shit is fucking weak sauce, or my shit is stale. They don't do that. They're like, oh, that shit look like that. Oh, that shit, all my shit look the same. Well, you're not a performance dog breeder. You're not a competition dog breeder if you worry about all your shit looking the same. So please pay attention to number 6. Let me read that again. Number 6, outcross versus line breeding. Why both matters? Why both matters? Line breeding, pros: increase predictability. builds prepotency, locks in traits. Now, when you don't have a prepotent dog, this is how you increase the possibilities of you getting a prepotent dog. Line breeding. Okay? There's a reason why you're doing it, right? You're locking in traits and you want it to come back out in offspring. So you line breed. It makes sense, right? Not because, oh, I want to have a line of dogs and this is my family of dogs. No, you're doing it because you want prepotency and you don't already have it. So that's why you're doing it. Boom. Cons, expressive recessive flaws. We know that. Narrows margins for error. We get that. Outcrossing. Pros, adds hybrid vigor. You're not going to get no freaks without hybrid vigor. I wouldn't have AK in my life if he wasn't a 50-50 outcross. Period. You wouldn't have Secretariat if he wasn't a motherfucking outcross. 5 and 5. 5 and 5. You know what I mean? Loose line breeding. K-Man taught us that. Loose line breeding was fucking Secretariat. Only related within the 5th generation and back. Wasn't related 5th and to the front. Wasn't related. So they call that in thoroughbred horse racing, where all the horses are related, they call that a fucking hard outcross. That's why Secretariat was a 1 of 1. Cons, less predictable. Okay, well, shit, you know how the coach love it. I like genetic variance. You might not like genetic variance, and that's okay. You know, when you're an artist, do you. There's no way I'm going to downplay any of you dogmen engineers. If that's your vision and you want your shit to look like you want to look, breed accordingly to that. I will never say, oh, man, you're fucking up. Unless you ask me, hey, coach, why am I losing performance? Well, because you want all your dogs. I'm going to say this, because you want all your dogs to look the same. That's what I would tell you. Oh, you losing performance because you want them all to look the same. It is what it is. You asking me, but if you're not asking me and that's what you want, I'm going to say salute. Do what you do. But if we're competing, right, and you're getting your ass beat, and you ask me, and I tell you, then I guarantee you're going to change it. I guarantee it. Let's keep it going. Number 7, why great times great often fails. 2 elite performers bred together. Each carries different hidden weaknesses. Their strengths may not overlap genetically. You get cancellation instead of amplification. Okay. This is why. Best to best, matings often disappoint. Okay. Complementary breedings beats trophy stacking. You guys get the number 7? Do I need to read that again? Let me read that one more time before we elaborate it. Why great times great often fails. 2 elite performers bred together. Each carries different hidden weaknesses. Their strengths may not overlap genetically. You get cancellation instead of amplification. This is why. Best to best, matings often disappoint. Well, that's true. We just saw that in thoroughbred horse racing. Complementary breeding beats trophy stacking. Okay, so you guys want to elaborate on this?
The idea is you're trying to fix the dogs, not you're trying to fix them. So you want to get a dog the prepotent dog that's already good and bring them to like maybe a female that she might be good, but she might have like maybe like a crooked leg or something, and you gonna fix that problem. That's what I think.
Yeah, like you. So you're saying you're talking about the complementary breeding beats.
Yeah,
yeah.
Instead of bringing 2 dogs that's already at the highest potency towards each other,
Right.
that's gonna throw the balance off.
Right. Okay. There you go. I like that one. Ready?
Yeah.
What else y'all want to add to that? Ready? Hit the, you know what I'm saying? Good shit, Ready. What y'all want to add to that?
Good shit, Ready. No bad.
The looks.
That also goes to like add on, like what was that question 5? I want to say it was, when you got a dog that got the ingredients and you got to realize you got a superstar that is the final. So some people want to take that final to the final, and once again, not realizing that you're going to overlap these weak points and Sephiroth go for these strong points. So I kind of look at it as in, when you got this great dog, that's when I'm starting to realize like it's time to outcross and look for something else to add to it. It's time to add on. So when I'm doing these breedings, I'm looking to add on and not take away.
Right. That's true. That's very true. Good way to see it too.
Facts.
What about you, K man? You want to add to this? Or are you good?
Yeah, it's something that come to mind as an example is like if you was breeding dogs for speed, instead of bottlenecking, you're breeding these dogs for racing. Instead of bottlenecking them down, breeding fastest to fastest, once you get to a certain point, you might want to back up and breed to a female that's maybe a little bit slower, but she's got a lot of endurance and some bone or something to add to your dogs, to make them where they can actually beat in a race instead of just, reaching the top speed in a sprint or something.
Right. Right.
Nah, you said that joint right, man.
Facts. That they said that in the horse documentary that they used the term battle ready, and I found that kind of surprising. So they didn't just have track ready, but they also said battle ready, and it kind of made me think a little bit different about how we also breed these dogs. Like once again, some people just want a dog that's plug and play, like what Coach was saying, but you got to realize like having a real battle ready dog, a dog with an on and off switch, a dog that can go in these different environments because it has a diversity behind it to be able to do these things. It's like that's what you want. It's damn near like you want a battle ready dog. The same way how they were saying in that horse documentary when they said battle ready, and I seen them horses racing. It's like, yeah, that's some battle ready shit right there.
Yeah, but
For
they
real.
have to develop them damn horses. You know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
that's what's not talked about, the development of a of a dog's mental space and being patient with a dog, like as if it was your own fucking daughter or son. Like you need to be patient with your animals the same way. Now, I'm gonna shout out to 416K9s, man. Salute my brother, man. Thank you for coming on the chat. He said a man could be a great baller and his kids can't shoot, but his sister's kids is the next Jordan because the genetics for Duncan came from the grandparents. Okay, yeah. So we just talked about that. Just trusting the genetics, because the spirit is a whole nother play. And this is very important for us that we put dogs together. Me, right, breeding the genetics might be different than you, 416K9, or you, the Bakari and TESD and all you guys. Like how you guys will mix those genetics might be different. So your genetic pairing might not get the best out of it versus mine, or vice versa. So, that right there is where the gifts come in. You know what I mean? And for me, I speak about my talent that God gave me. Okay. All of us have talents, whether you believe in talents or not, whether you even use your talents or not. Some people have more talents in certain areas than others. Some people have more work ethic than talent, which trumps talent. Okay. So everything plays. Okay. So we're not here to downplay anybody's ability. But if you have talent, let's say like myself, that you like a visionary, you really study this shit, you really like, before you purchase DNA, you like asking all the right questions, you buy it. Of course, it's still it's a gamble. All the shit you're supposed to do when you try to work at a high level. And then you mixing shit and you getting shit to pop. You get shit to click. That right there is very important to making these top tier level high performance dogs, is knowing how to put them and match them, just like she said. Let me make sure I say it right here. Complementary breeding beats trophy stacking. So I'm not just breeding champion to champion because they champions and winner to winner because they winners. It's like what K-Man said. It's like what you said, Reddy, Verde, etc. All y'all get this in class. Complementary means, okay, I got this. This is your strong point, sire, and this is your strong point. Damn. And my vision, because I trust in the DNA, the genetics, I'm going to infuse the differences that should complement each other when I infuse them. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yep.
That's the idea.
Okay, good, good. So please, gentlemen and ladies, pay attention in class. This is the tip of the top of the iceberg, man. We teach y'all to think outside the box to create the circle. Okay, there's a rhyme or reason of why we doing it, but not everybody know what the fuck they doing. That's why I say theories is there for a starting point. Theories are there because our forefathers and shit, they was already doing this shit. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So they lay it down for us to follow. They lay it down what they did for us to follow, but it doesn't mean that we don't progress it. That doesn't mean that we keep it stale. 1950, 1920, 1800s. We don't keep it, you know what I mean? We don't keep it stale. They lay it down for us to pick it up and make it better. So please pay attention in class. Let's go to number 8. Best breeding practices, dogs and horses. What actually works? Breed producers to producers. Proven offspring is greater than personal performance. Stud families, not individuals. Litter mates have siblings, second generation results. Okay, we know that. Track failure as closely as success. We know that. What didn't reproduce matters more. Avoid emotional breeding. Fame does not equate genetic value. Breed to correct weaknesses, not to double down on strengths blindly. Number 6, accept probabilities, not guarantees. There are no sure things, only better odds. Do you guys get number 8, Ty?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good. I'm glad we get number 8. Okay. Let me go to the next shotter. Number 9, the real parallel between dogs and horses. Categories, concept, dogs, horses. All right, the concept, elite performer, dogs, competition champions, horses, stakes winners. Concept, great producers, dogs, stud dog, horses, foundation stallions. Concept, genetic lottery, dogs, one freak dog, horses, one freak horse. Concept, family dominance, dogs, working lines, horses, sire lines. Concept, delayed impact, dogs, grandsire effect, horses, broodmare sire effect. Same biology, same rules, different arenas. Same old song, just a different story. You guys understand number 9?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right.
But I do got a question, Coach, though, for the sire line, for the sire lines for the horses, right? And I kind of add this to the dogs for the working lines too. But for the horses, it said sire lines. Can we say that some of these sire lines are actually built off of females, off of the knowledge that we know of today?
Well, okay, so look, this is why they say sire lines, okay? It's not to downplay one over the other, but the sire can produce more than the females.
Facts. I do agree on that. Facts.
So that's why because you can shoot, you know what I mean? You can play the lottery more with your males than your females. With the female horses, they can probably give you 12 to 15 goddamn horses in their lifetime, 10 to 15.
Why that male getting smacked, like they said, secretary, what, 600?
600
plus?
So that's why they do that. They're not downplaying one over the other, because like with horses, the brood mares are the ones that's pretty much producing more than the sires. As far as top tier performers coming off of them, right? If we play in the numbers,
okay,
you know,
right. I see where you're going.
Go ahead.
I said I see where you're going, Coach. I'm understanding.
Okay. Let's carry on. Number 10. Bottom line, straight talk. Performance is individuals. Production is genetic. The best breeders chase consistency, not headlines. True greatness shows up across generations, not just podiums. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so we good here. We good. We beat this one up. We beat this one up. Okay, so anything else? Let me go through the chat and go through y'all's questions. So you guys get that, right? We understand why there's a difference between performance and production, and also why elite dogs and elite horses don't always reproduce greatness. So we understand why this theory can be debunked as far as like, we only breed great to great. Best dogs are best dogs. That's the only way. We understand why that's not, that's just fucking a myth. Do you understand?
Yep.
I want to know how many men here didn't their heights from their mother's side of the family.
I don't understand. Go ahead. Ask it again.
Okay. You know how I'm going to give you an example. I know this chick. Her dad is a little short guy. Her mom is a big, tall woman. They got married, had kids. They had a little tiny daughter and a great big huge son.
All right, I got what you're saying. So, and all right, for me, right?
Yeah.
My pops is 5'9". My mom's is 5'4.5". But I didn't get my height from my pops. I got my height from my grandfather on my mom's side.
Exactly.
Her dad, he was over 6 feet, and I'm 6 foot.
Yeah. I got a lot of my genes from my mother's father.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like that with the dogs. It's like that with the chickens. It's like that with people.
Yeah.
I think we all mammals.
Yep. It came in. Put your thing on mute. Okay. Yeah, K-Man, you right about that, because let's say with AK, right? His mother was the one with all the leg, and down her family tree, there was a whole bunch of leggy dogs. And her daddy was a leggy dog, and we can go on and on and on. And on AK's daddy's side, there's not a lot of leggy dogs down there. Gunner's not a leggy dog, and his daddy's not, and there's not a lot of leggy dogs. So where did AK get that 26 inches from? He got it from his mother. And me understanding, the genetic combinations between AK's mother and his father, I was praying to God that I would get a leggy dog, but I didn't have to pray. I just believed in what was going to happen in that genetic combination, that genetic variance. And when I stacked my dog up, when it was time for me to pick my puppy, my pick, like I expressed to you, like I said on Gerald's platform, I made Simon stack the dog, and I saw the leg that I needed to see. That's what I was buying. I was buying leg, and I believed in the drive that came from the daddy. So as long as I got the leg from the mother, that's what I was looking for, because I wanted to make my dogs bigger. So like you said, that came from AK's mother's side, is that height. You know what I mean? So however, everything plays, y'all. That's why this just a lottery. Nothing there's nothing guaranteed. Just because you got a bitch that got that leg and shit, you might have some dogs that don't got leg in that motherfucker. It's just how it goes.
Right, because she might carry the genes for shorter legs and give that to one of her other sons or daughters.
Right. She can carry both. So again, genetic lottery, y'all. So let me answer some of these questions here. So TESD, he said, so do this mean even if you put the same two dogs back together, you might not get that freak because the genetics don't line up? Yeah. Nothing is guaranteed. Go ahead, K-Man.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You can get different colors depending on your breed, especially with like pit bulls. You can get different colors each time you breed them.
So nothing is guaranteed. Just like think about how many times they probably bred Secretariat, sire and dam together after they fucking figured out who he was. And they were like, shit, we ain't got another one. That's just, like it says, I mean, it's like a scramble every time you pair those two parents together. When their genetics come together, it's a whole different scramble and shit. It's different every time. It's not the same.
When's ChatGPT gonna give us a mitosis and meiosis breakdown?
I can ask her right now. Hold on.
That'll explain a lot of the randomness or the unpredictability to anything that's not prepotent.
Okay, so hold on. All right, what'd you say? What are we asking her?
Well, first mitosis and meiosis.
And I'm asking, like, what's the difference?
I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, she's doing it right now. Damn, she's doing some technical shit, man.
Yeah, once you understand how when the genes mash together and you have crossover when they switch tails, so you got genes that belong to one dog onto another dog's genes, and then they rip apart randomly and like shuffle and realign and then attach to another half that's had the same thing happen to it.
All right, here we go. Mitosis. Growth, repair, copying, the same thing. What it is, mitosis is how the body copies cells exactly. Purpose, growth, tissue repair, cell replacement, maintaining the same genetics. Key facts, one cell, two identical cells. Chromosomes number stays the same, no genetic variation created. Steps, simple. Prophase, chromosomes condense, metaphase, line up in the middle, anaphase, pulled apart, telophase, two new nuclei form, cytokinesis. Is that what it is?
Cytokinesis.
There we go. Cytokinesis. Thank you. Cells split. End result, clone copies. In dogs and horses, muscle growth, healing of injuries, skin, bone, organ repair, training, adaptations, muscle fiber enlargement. Mitosis does not create genetic diversity. Meiosis or meiosis. Sex cells, genetic shuffling, the lottery. What it is, meiosis is what is it? Meiosis? What is it called?
Meiosis.
Meiosis. Okay. Meiosis makes sperm and eggs. Purpose, sexual reproduction, genetic variation, passage genes to offspring. Key facts. One cell, four cells. Each cell is genetically different. Chromosomes number is cut in half. 2 rounds of division. Meiosis, right? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay, mixes splits chromosomes. Meiosis 2 splits again like mitosis. The most important part, crossing over during meiosis chromosomes. Okay, man, they ain't understanding this shit, okay, man. This is so much.
Well,
This
yeah,
is how
that's
you
what you got
see
to
how the
understand.
freaks
If
are
you
born.
really
That's how you see how the
agree.
freaks are born right here.
Yeah, dude, you guys,
Yeah,
if you
that's
guys
what,
want to study this, study it. Because it's a lot. And we're not going to just read it one time and you guys get it. So you guys are going to have to really dig into that to really comprehend that. Because that's real scientific right there, what they break it down.
yeah,
You're not
neat
going to
diagram, neat
be able to take your mind and just us reading it right now and be like, oh, I understand that shit. Because right now it sounds like a foreign language to me. So I would have to study it to really, break it down for us to digest it. You know what I'm saying? But it's something for us to look into. Now that I got it in my notes, man, I'll dig deeper into it for sure.
Hey, I can share some sources with you too to start at entry level and go right on up to college exam level.
Okay. Let's answer more of these questions. I think there's a lot of people who got some good questions in here. Okay, so anthropobulldogology. He says often overlooked is the mediocre siblings that passes the traits the ace siblings don't. Yeah, he said Billy Stevens. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. How you do overlook the weaker sibling in performance or the one that doesn't look the way you want it to look, and then you pass it on to somebody else, and then they breed that animal. Not necessarily the same when you bred it, but bred it within the same breed, and then you see its offspring like being way more superior than the one that you picked that was superior in size and in performance than that smaller one that was lacking that. And again, a lot of that is development. See, K-Man can relate to this. And if you guys ever have a pack of dogs, when you see how a pack shapes each other, you'd be surprised which dog comes out on top. When you see that small dog and it's around its environment and they shape each other, you'd be surprised. The one that you pick probably ain't gonna be the alpha. You'd be surprised. You know what I mean? And that's why puppy development is so important. It's as important as producing that puppy. Damn near it's more important than producing the dog is the development of that dog. And I shout out to you trainers out there who train these dogs to do these type of level of work, but that should be something that I feel that the trainer should showcase the development of that dog's mind and show us how you could take a mediocre dog and make it a fucking top tier dog. I want to see that shit. When you show me that as a trainer, in either way, I'm just on the sidelines anyway. I'm not going to comment anyway, but then that's when I'm going to comment. And just this week, I commented on, man, I should have got his name, man. I want to give him a shout out, but I shared him to you, Reddy, before, the one with those big ass mouths and shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get his name next time. I'm gonna give him a shout. But I gave him a shout out in the comment section. I see him always working, and he like won a big ass fucking competition, and he's got a big following and stuff. But I see him working every day. He's working every day with his dogs, and I see what he's doing, and I was like, bro, I've been watching you for a while, and I can just see that you've been working on these dogs' mental. You know what I mean, like the mental game. And remember that Malinois I showed you, Reddy, that the guy got the Malinois painting and shit like that?
Yeah. Monkey.
Gunner is his name. I think something Gunner and shit, right?
Gunner or Monkey. I know there's two dogs that's like that. That's doing all that crazy shit.
Yeah. So him and I, we linked in or whatever. And, I sent him a friend request and, he, a follow or whatever, and he accepted it. And then, I shot him a DM, just let him know, like, bro, what you doing with your mouth is amazing. You know what I mean? And, he thanked me and, but that part of it, like, for you to take the time to get your dog mental game on that point where it can paint, like his dog is doing whatever he tells it to do.
Hell yeah.
Like he can give it hand
Anything.
Yeah. He give it hand signals. It goes into the drawer, gets his remote. It's just amazing what he has his dog doing, but he develops that dog's mind.
Yeah.
That is impressive to me as a trainer. Okay. Depending on the dog's talent, makes you look good.
Like, I ain't gonna lie though. I've seen a lot of dogs kind of do what that dog does, but that dog does it faster. That's what I'm gonna say. That dog does it way faster and way efficient.
So think about it like this, ready? How much time did he put in that? So it's like this. If there was trainers lined up and I wanted to develop my dog's mind for him to do, the dog to do whatever I wanted to do and be versatile in what I wanted to do. And let's say that guy was up for services as far as me hiring him. You know what I mean? Like that's somebody that I would hire to develop my dog. There's another dude in Africa that's pretty dope too. There's a brother in Africa. I think he's in Africa or something like that. His dogs do some amazing ass shit too. You know,
I might have seen him too.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen him too. But like these are the guys who are top tier in their craft because they're developing the dog.
Yeah.
They're taking time trying to understand the dog, and then they know the dog can learn. Then they pushing the limits with the dog. Okay, well, let me see if you learn this. Let me see if you learn that. You know what I mean? Who's gonna think that? Hey, I'm gonna make my dog fucking paint a picture, and all he's doing is hand signals with the dog.
Yeah.
That took time to develop. He just didn't have that dog. I'm gonna breed dogs, and they're gonna be painters. And their talent is going to make them painters. And if one of them doesn't want to pick up the brush automatically, then I'm going to call his ass. He's not doing that. But, in theory, that's what people teach you to do, right? They teach you that shit in theory, right? And then you throw away some of your best fucking producers doing that shit. But let's put another question on here. TESD said, so why you get a dog that is the superstar, his siblings will be throwing superstars while the superstar will not be able to reproduce itself. Well, it's like this, TESD. You don't know who's going to produce better or himself until you fucking test it out. So what that means is you can't assume because it's a superstar that it's going to be a great producer, and you can't assume that it's not a superstar that it won't. That's the moral of this whole class tonight. Believe in your DNA. Believe in your ability to develop your animal. And let the proof be in the pudding when it comes to productions. Don't assume nothing. Don't assume shit until you test them, because they don't do that in thoroughbred horse breeding. Because when you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a horse, millions of dollars for the horse, you test it. You ain't throwing it away because it didn't do well in the fucking race on the racetrack. You're like, I gotta get my money back. So why we doing that with dogs and shit? Because you know what, the dogs ain't worth shit anyway to you. You can just keep breeding shit until you find that easy dog that shows you something. That's why you bred that stud to about 20 different bitches. You finally got one or two out of the fucking hundreds of puppies you done had. Come on, y'all. We do better than that. Let's keep going.
Damn, I was about to ask something. All right. So, in about big cats and all that shit, right? Like the hybrid cats and all that shit.
Yeah, liger and all that shit.
Yeah. All right. So they say the liger is sterile, but if you do it the opposite way and do the tiger to the lion, it's a Tygon, and that one can reproduce.
That's interesting.
And then you can get Lily Ligers. That's what they call them, Lily Ligers.
That's
Can they
interesting.
either one, or can they only mate?
The female is the reproducer. The male, I don't think the male.
So the male is sterile. The male is sterile. The
I
liger.
know, yeah, the liger is sterile.
And what would be the health span on them dogs? I mean, I said on them dogs, on them little compared to like or like.
I don't know, because all the ones that were born are still alive and healthy.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
What do
That's
they
why I
bring
Go
on
ahead.
back? A lion or tiger?
The lion, like it's backwards. Instead of making the liger one, you do the tiger into the lion, like the male tiger to a female lion, and you get a Tygon.
Yeah, I understand all that. What I was asking was
And that's
if
the
it was fertile with the lion or fertile with the tiger, or either one.
it's either one.
Yeah, because you're getting you got the X from the lion on the bottom. That's what I was wondering, if it would only remate with the lion or what.
Okay.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
because
Go ahead.
the way the genes are splitting up, obviously lions and tigers have different number of chromosomes or something, so they don't split up when you're using the tiger for the female.
Okay. Yes, that's interesting, man.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's above my mental pay grade. Shit. You know what I'm saying? But definitely interesting for sure. All right.
I was trying to see where that would fit in with dogs, though. If dogs could have that.
But what would you breed a dog to? The dogs are already doing that. They're already doing that with dogs. Like dogs to coyotes, dogs to
Dogs at that point.
they're already doing those type of shit with dogs. Dogs to wolves.
No, no, I don't mean like that Pacific wild type hybrid. I mean like that similar situation, like
Oh, like
the
how you do a mule and shit, how you make a mule.
no, like why are they sterile? Why one is sterile and the other one is fertile?
I don't know. We had to study that to find that one out already. I'm sure they got an answer to it, but we would have to study
Yeah,
it.
that's kind of the same with horses and donkeys. They have a different number of chromosomes. They can match, but when they split apart, they split up in an odd number, so they can't match up. Generation. Let's say there was what would it be? Let's say one had 32 and the other one had 34.
Right.
But then they split up, each has 33. You know, because there's 66. And it don't match up that way.
Okay, let me get through these questions. 416 says most of the best dogs come from a fire dog to a cold bitch. Was it Frisco a brew dog? What is? I think he said brew dog. Yeah, brew dog. Never matched. I don't really know about that. K-Man might know.
Nah, I forgot all that bulldog history, but I mean, if the genetics is there, and cold dogs are just overdone gameness, You know what I mean? They're so game they don't even give a shit. So you can absolutely get game dogs out of them.
Okay. So yeah, 416. You know what I mean? You know what time it is. 416. You do your shit. You do your studies. So you get it. You get it. Let me see what else we got over here. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so the Bakari says, is there a way to keep the looks / phenotype in your program, but also get performance? Is it possible in rare with a question mark? Does one has to go when the other one is present?
Now,
Okay, man.
Form follows function. So if you like the looks of an athletic dog, then you have the phenotype that you like in the performance. But if you're looking for a phenotype that doesn't fit performance, then no. That's basically what it is. If you're into greyhounds, you got to like the look of a greyhound. You can't like the look of an English Mastiff, and want to keep that phenotype in your racing dogs.
Yeah. No, man, you hit the nail on the head.
That's basically like when I asked you about adding AK to the bulldog, if that would fix, and you was like, nah, then it won't be the bulldog no more. It's just fucking up. It'll take away from that.
Yeah, no, it will
The
fix it.
phenotype.
It would
It'll
fix
it, but it won't be the same
There
phenotype.
you go. Yep. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Will be no longer a bulldog phenotype.
Mm.
So when you're breeding for performance has to trump all even looks. So form over function, which one are you going for? Okay. Now, it should be form and function when it comes to performance. It should work with each other, right? But some of your ugliest dogs is your best working dogs. So it's a song and a dance. I'm gonna tell you this: the Bakari is a song and a dance as a breeder. What I mean by that is you got to try to create the best of both worlds, phenotypically and genotypically, to your aesthetic liking. But if you are a performance breeder, performance always trumps looks any day. Performance always trumps phenotype. Because most of the time when people say phenotype, it's a specific look that you want to see. It's not necessarily the best look for the dog to perform. Because like I said, a top tier performer might look ugly to you phenotypically to you. Right? That high rear, you might not like it, but for performance, that high rear might be what makes it, have that spring or make it have that pulling power. Like all that shit plays when you're dealing with performance animals. So that's why I say it's a song and a dance, because you don't want to get too caught up in phenotype when you're trying to breed for performance, because you'll be surprised at what God gives you based off of what you see and what you think. Like, man, I don't like that. But the way that shit's performed is like, damn it. Well, I'm glad I got it. I mean, genetics work like that, especially when you testing your shit. It really do blow your mind when you assume shit and then come to find out what you thought wasn't good was actually better for your dog's performance. It works out that a lot of times. All right, here we go. All right, Tony said, goal is to get 2 copies of the traits you want. So breeding dog will with similar traits versus just because they're related works better. Okay. You guys understand what Tony's talking about? He said goal is to get 2 copies of the traits you want. So breeding the dog with similar traits versus just because they're related works better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Like begets like.
Okay. See what else we got. Okay, and then 416 said outcrossing to another line of the same breed should only be done to introduce what's missing from your program while making sure you don't compound lines false. That's true. But that's a song and a dance too, because now you're reshuffling, you're reshuffling genes. So this is where the art form comes in, right? This is where the skilled are considered skilled at what they do. Because you're thinking about all these things when you're deciding to outcross. You're thinking about all these things when you're deciding to line breed or inbreed. You have to think about everything before you do it. That's why I always say, have your lab notes. Even though you guys might not have your breedings yet, you should be doing mock breedings, writing them down. You should be drawing plays before you even do it. Have different scenarios that could possibly happen based off of the dogs that you plan on using, based off the DNA that you plan on using. You should have all that lined up. In your notes. You gonna say something, Verde?
Yeah, that what was it last week topic when we was talking about the line breeding? That also can occur when you loosely line breeding, when you breeding dogs that's 4 to 5, 6 generations back to each other. You can also compound them faults with each other too, trying to achieve something that was either washed away or completely washed away. You feel me?
Well, like I said, there should be a reason why you're doing everything. You just don't do it just to do it. And then, like I said, if you're a performance breeder, it should be you should be breeding them for better every time. It should always be that I'm trying to add something. Because real talk, if you want to maintain, then you collect your studs. If you got a pre-pone stud and you want to maintain that in your line, collect the semen. There it is, on ice. It ain't going nowhere until you fucking put it in the bitch or you lose it. They destroy it. But if you're breeding that, what you already have maintained in that stud, then why are you not adding to it? What's the purpose of us breeding performance dogs if we're not, making better dogs? In performance, you guys. You see what I'm saying? Like, that should be your objective every fucking time you cook up a breeding. Like, okay, damn it, I got this. Okay, cool. I didn't get that. Like you're looking at all your puppies or whatever you plan on keeping, and like you're looking at them all, and you're assessing what you got and what you didn't get. And then if you're gonna breed that line again, you should be adding to it. You should be. What fun is it? If I'm driving the same car, what fun is it? What fun is it? I already got that car. I want a different car in the garage. I want to drive something different. I don't need to have two of the same cars and shit. For what? Just in case one blows up, I got a duplicate. What's that? That's no fun. All right, let's see what else we got. What's that? Dylan, he's in the building. Big salute to Dylan. He said, if a dog is prepotent, he says, okay. So he says, if a dog is prepotent, can it go away if not selecting carefully as well? A prepotent dog is a prepotent dog regardless. That's what that word prepotent is. It's going to hit regardless of what you put that bitch in. It's going to hit and hit and hit and hit and hit. That's why a prepotent dog is so valuable to us. Because we know we're going to get those genes to be passed on at least. Now, we don't know how they're gonna combinate, like that combination. We don't know how it's gonna combine with that female, but we know we're gonna get that we know we're going to get from that male or female who is prepotent. If that makes sense. Let's see here. Damn, y'all cooking in the fucking chat.
Yeah, I like these questions.
Yeah, they cooking in the chat.
No, facts.
All right, TESD. He says, if I have a dog that genetics carry on when I breed that dog to another dog, wouldn't it break down the genetics that made my first dog good? Anybody want to answer that before I elaborate on that? He says, if I have a dog that genetics carry on when I breed that dog to another dog, wouldn't it break down the genetics that made my first dog good?
So he's talking about line breeding or inbreeding, as in breeding it back together.
Yeah, I'll understand what dog is he talking about? Line breeding or crossing or hybrid?
Well, it do say breed that dog to another dog.
Like, yeah.
Wouldn't it break down that genetics? So he talking about outcrossing. What is the purpose? Now I'm like, what is the purpose? Wow, what am I doing? Hold on. Wait.
Go ahead, K-Man.
Well, my question is, what are you breeding it to? Because yes,
Yeah.
you can. It's going to break it down, but are you breeding it to a likeness, or are you breeding it complete opposite? I mean, that is the idea of line breeding. If you're calling this an outcross, you're going to have to breed back into that original dog's line to keep that.
Yeah, it definitely depends on what you're breeding, like who you breeding that dog to. The breakdown is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. The recombination of genes is not a bad thing. Okay. Now, this is a TESD. This is why a prepotent dog is very important, because that breakdown is what we want, because we want different, not different and bad, but different and better. Now, everything plays now. Nothing is a perfect production. But if you can get more out of each litter or each production, then you scored on that. You scored on that. And the recombination of the genes is a given. It's a given. So, like I said, with AK, I'm grateful to God that I have a dog like him. But my goal is not to reproduce him. I want to reproduce a variant of him that is better. I don't care if it's smaller than him. I don't care if it's bigger than him. I don't care if it's a mid-sized version. I don't care if the phenotype's different. I don't care if it's a different color. I want to see those traits in performance that I love in AK in his offspring, but I want to see more. I want to see more options in that bitch. You see what I'm saying? I want to have more features. You know, if that makes sense. So that genetic recombination that you're going to get, expect your dog to be different. I expect it to be different. So, yes, it's definitely going to change for sure. Unless you just want to inbreed, you're going to inbreed and shit. You might be able to get some lookalikes.
That is true, Coach, but not even but from my experience, an inbred bitch taken to a F1, you would see more diversity in that offspring than what you see in that inbred bitch. Definitely, if you have a prepotent F1, you will see more of the F1 traits in that offspring. And a lot of people will argue like it's an inbred bitch. Well, a F1 that's prepotent will overwrite that inbred bitch. For sure. Definitely, if you're breeding for the right characteristics, breeding for what you was researching for, you will hit them points.
I will tell you guys to embrace the variance. If you believe in your genetics, embrace the differences that God gives you, because this is how you find out if you really got the sauce or not. You know, like I don't want to wash out all my shit. I worked hard and I paid a lot of money for my shit. So if God can keep giving me a different variant and I can make that variant better, that's what makes it fun for me. Because like I said, I'm breeding for individuals. I'm not breeding for just because I got a line. 20 years, AK, same shit, same breeding formula.
Yeah, that's boring.
I don't get nothing from that, y'all. Me personally, as an artist, I get nothing from that. There's no, all the dog shit and piss I be cleaning up, all the money I sacrifice, time, everything I sacrifice for this dog shit to breed like that. It's like it's not. There's no passion for me as an engineer. Nah, I need to be. Look at I like surprises, good surprises, and when you're breeding, of course, you get it all. But I like to be like, oh wow, you created. I like to create, and that's the beauty of having genetic diversity. And if you got a stud and you know how to breed them correctly, or you got a bitch, she's giving you what you want every time, but you know how to get the best out of her and get more. That's how you should breed her.
No.
But guys, we not show dog guys. Nothing against show dog guys, and we're not confirmation show dog guys and gals. That's not our specialty. If you breed to a standard and you doing them shows, you got to breed like that. And you want them lookalikes, because you want the judge to say, okay, this looks like the standard. If that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. But we breeding competition animals. It's a whole different ball. It's a whole different game. It's night and day. It's night and day. It's easier to breed a phenotype than it is to breed a fucking top tier performer. A lot easier. See what else we got. RKBB. He says, salute to RKBB. He said, this is why I keep the breeding right. So if a dog I sell looks better and performs better than the sibling I keep, so I can use that dog instead of the one I kept. There you go. That's smart. That's real smart, RKBB. Big salute.
Or salute RKBB and salute the council. I see you, homie. You made it in here and shit.
Yes, he did, though. Salute to the council.
So RKBB, what you doing is you do co-owns. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Or is he completely keeping the breeding rights over these dogs?
That's exactly what it sounded like, which is a good thing.
Right.
That's what I tell Coach to do with his military dogs. Just farm them out, or just pay someone.
If Coach go that route with the team play, that's definitely what he will be doing.
That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing.
And I wanted to ask too, Coach, like not to ask too much, but will that be LLC?
I mean, it could be an LLC once it gets to that point. You know what I'm saying? If I want to play ball and make it an LLC, but it's more or less going to be the brand and the team, and then the movement for the future of Formula One K9s, so that I can, pretty much, root the whole play, and everybody that's involved in it can benefit from it. But we can control the DNA. I want to control the DNA. I'm not, once I lock it in and what I'm doing and I get in the dough, I want to control the DNA. So even if I do sell, like I said, even if I do sell to the public and you breed it, you don't got the sauce. You don't got, what I'm saying? You ain't got the pre-potent sauce.
The pre-potent sauce. Like you say, you want to control who got the F1s. And
yes.
Once again, like, if people is following the classes, I really do hope and pray they understand what's going on. Like I just said too, with my own breeding that just happened. I just took a F1 that my personal experience I feel is prepotent to an inbred bitch, and it's like you got to understand what these true F1s that is potent can do for you when it comes down to these purebred dogs that need these true outcrosses. So
right.
I 1000% see where you're going with it, Coach. I'm on board with it.
Yes, sir. No, you're learning. All you guys are learning. And that's what this classroom is for. It's for us to think outside the box to create the circle. Test theories. You feel me? Test theories. Come up with your own formulas. Test all the breeding methods. But again, we're breeding high performance competition dogs. It's a whole different play. It's a lot harder because you have to be creative in the lab. You can't, if you're competing, you can't be complacent because somebody's going to overthink you and outthink you and put together a better dog because you only think in one way. And that's not how you think when you're an engineer and you're trying to make better. We're trying to advance the technology of our dogs and the abilities of our dogs. Well, we're going to have to figure out how to add more in our dogs without completely breaking them down when we put them back together. Because the breakdown is a complete breakdown in your notes. And then when you breed them together and they produce, that's the recombination of what was in your notes, the breakdown. And then you assess what you produce. This one, I didn't get this one yet. Oh, I got that. I got a little bit of this. And then you, as a good trainer, you develop it. If it's not showing itself, you try to, a dog, and you got a smart dog, they can learn. So you start tweaking the dog's mind to give you that. Give it to you. Okay. Okay, I had to work a little hard to get it, but okay, I didn't like having to work this hard. Okay, let me go and add a bitch or add a male that already kind of has this genetically, like talent-wise. So that now when I develop it, it's not as hard as the last production was to get it out the dog. Because if it's in the dog's genetics, it's in there. Like it's in there. If it's in the dog, it's in there. It just might be dormant or you might not know how to bring it out. So 416 says, a dog is 100% of its own DNA when bred to another dog. Those pups are only 50% of their father's genetics. So there's no way for pups to be 100% like the father. That's facts. Or the mother. K-Man broke that down a while ago, but you speaking truth, 416. Yep.
Facts.
Yeah, they over there they over there talking within themselves, man. All right, cool. I see y'all working. Woody Russ, I think Woody Rue 151. Big salute, Rudy Rue. He says, I grew up with a double bred Bolio. I miss her, but it was hard to play with her because of all she knew was to bite. I can imagine that with them dogs. Damn, they going in the chat, man. Salute to y'all.
No, it's crazy. He said a double inbred.
Inbred?
Yo, my boy Elsie Hobbs behind him in the Black Champs. It's 2 times, but it's 2 times inbred. So when I look at the pedigree, pretty much it was, most people would say it's 4 times, but the reason why I say it's 2 times inbred because on both sides it's both parents. And then it was like the split of the outcross is what led to Black Jack, which will be my boy Dad, which comes off of Black Widow. But it was like what was behind it. It was like it was top and bottom. So it was like it showed up 4 times, but it was all like it was the 4 times was both. If you understand what I'm saying, was like it was both of the same dogs. So would that be considered a 2 times inbred?
Because it's top and bottom.
No, it was on the bottom side, but on the right and the left side, it was both of the same grandparents. Like the grandparents was on the right and the left side, and then on the top it was a complete different outcross.
So you saying 2 times inbred was the offspring of the I'm trying to understand what you're saying. K-Man, do you understand what he's saying?
Not completely. So you're saying the mother come from a brother-sister breeding?
It wasn't brother to sister. It was dad to daughter breeding. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
But it was a repeat, if you understand what I'm saying. and then they took that together, and then so Ozzy Hobbs come off the repeat. If that's what I'm like, that makes sense.
So they bred father to daughter and then bred brother sister.
No, they did father to daughter, took something off of that, bred that together, and then outcrossed that.
Oh. Well, no. So though only one of the dogs is inbred. If it's outcrossed, then the pups from that aren't.
But it still show on this pad though. You know what, Kevin? I'm gonna talk to you about that on the back end, because like me and Reddy, we talked about it, but I'm gonna get in detail about it on the back end, because it was default paperwork, so it's just like that's why I'm asking you, like, and trying to get clarification about this shit, because it was like the way how it was presented to me and what I'm seeing, it's just like you see what I'm saying,
That
like it's
shit
just
might not.
something is
That
not
shit's
right.
bullshit.
Pretty much, that's what I'm saying. That's why I call it default paperwork.
Okay, let's hit these questions right here.
Facts.
All right, so Tony said, I was asking about complementary breedings. He said, but I think it's more of a fill in the blanks type of thing with traits versus trying to stack traits. That right there, Tony, is the key to understanding how to make better. See, when you stacking traits that's already there in your dog, why are you doing it? The only way I would do that is if I'm trying to make my dog who is not prepotent, the offspring prepotent. That's the only way I'm stacking traits and breeding. Okay. If not, this is me. I'll let you tap in, K-Man. If the dogs are, if I don't have prepotency, then I'm stacking. But if I already have that in there, I've seen it in a couple of generations, and I'm like, okay, I'm still seeing it. It's not watered down. I'm still seeing what I need to see. Then I need to be adding, like you say, fill in the blank. I need to be filling in the blanks of what I don't have, because that's how you would do when you buy a car and you're into performance and you buy it out the dealership stock. Okay. I'm not going to be going unless, like I said, Chevy got a high performance division, which they do, and you can get some high performance parts on there. I'm not putting the same parts. I'm getting bigger headers, cams, all the shit that's not already in the car that I just bought. That's the same thing with your dogs. You know what I mean? If you are breeding for performance type dogs, if you're not, then you can stack for nostalgia. You can stack just because it sounds good, but you should always be filling in the blanks. Go ahead, K-Man.
Yeah, right. You should be doing both. Just like you pretty much summed it up. You want to put racing brakes on both sides of the car. You want to put headers on both sides of the car. You know, you do want to fill in the blanks, but you do want to stack it up so it's on both sides. The desirable traits or the high performance parts.
So again, you guys, everything plays, and it needs to be for a reason why you're doing something, right? Because like what K-Man was saying about having it on, you want to have 4 brakes. The foundation of your animal should already be there, to me. So everything after the foundation should be adding. Okay. If you can't do that, then you might have to go break it back down and build it back up again. Let me answer this phone real quick. Go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit while I answer this phone.
What you got, ready?
All right, I'm back. You can carry on. Let's see what else we got. Now, remember, you guys, everything plays. So your theories, put it in action. If you want to stack your dogs up and you think you're going to get better stacking traits, do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do something. Okay? Do it. Test everything out. Okay? But I like to use the KISS method when this comes, because it's just hard as it is playing the fucking genetic lottery with these fucking genetics. Keep it simple in your lab notes. How can I make my dogs better? If you break it down like you're building a car, then it should help you figure out how to make your dogs better in theory. You still got to test it. You still got to breed it. You still got to take those puppies and see. So don't ever think that me responding in the way that I respond is telling y'all, don't do something, don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm going to speak it the way I speak it because all I'm doing is X's and O's as a coach. But I still tell you to take your theory and put it into practice, because you might show me something that in my theories and my practices that I ain't even did yet. But I mean, common sense is common sense. And if we can keep it as simple as possible, if you already got the shit, why am I stacking it? If I already got it, why am I doing the same shit over again? That's, to me, is redundant.
Exactly.
I think he means something different than that. I mean, I think he means in your breeding, like you're using the analogy of a car, building a car. Well, when you're building a dog out of two halves. You know what I mean? So you want a Corvette on both sides, basically. Like if you're breeding a hound, you want both dogs to carry the trait to follow their nose. That's what I meant by stacking.
Okay, I understand. Let's see what else we got. Y'all cooking in this motherfucker. Damn. They going ham. Salute, Ivan Zundel. Salute to you, brother. All right. He said, just like with humans, certain traits pass only from the bitch side, others only from the stud side. Like humans, color deficiencies, aka color blindness, comes from the grandfather of the mother side. Interesting. Okay. We got Rambo Rondo. Salute. What do we got? Y'all cooking in this bitch.
Yeah, I don't even see all those other people.
Yeah, because you on the phone side, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, you on the phone side. Well, I can see everything. So on mine. But man, they cooking in here, man. They going ham in the chat. Hey, salute to the chat. You know what I mean? Salute to you guys. You know, communicating back and forth, sharing ideas, sharing concepts, sharing experiences. That's what this is all about, the Super Dog Man Computer. All we want to do is get better at our craft. All we want to do is make sure that we understand that we can think outside the box over here, okay? Think outside the box. Test all theories here, okay? Test them all, because just because it worked one time on this breeding don't mean it's going to work the next time. You know, if I try something that is not working for me, I need to try something different. If an OG told me something he did back in 1970, but I don't want no 1970 dog, you know, I might have to just give respect to my OG and be like, okay, OG, you know, thank you for giving me the foundation, but I'm moving past them dogs. And it's okay. It's okay to do that. Because I guarantee it, for me, when I test my theories out with what I'm doing with my program now, and I find myself not getting what I want, I guarantee I'm going to do something different. I guarantee you that. I'm not going to be like, oh, guys, I just believe in this formula so much. Hell no, I'm doing something different. Because we should always be striving for our offspring of our productions to be better, 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 better. And then when you're dealing with a competitive industry, like I'm trying to get into, where there's a lot of people who are already established, old guard, who probably already got their claws in the military. And I come in, I got to come in with something different, better. I might have to lowball myself because I'm a new guy. But once I get in, I'm going to set the bar higher and higher because I know once I take that contract for one of these dudes, these old guards, I bet you they're going to get back in the lab. Don't you think they'll get back in the lab ready?
Hell yeah. Immediately.
I know if I lost my contract, I'm getting back in the lab. I ain't producing the same shit. I don't care how good it was. I don't care how good of a run I had. I had a 20-year run selling dogs to the military. They fucking discontinued my contract. What the fuck? Oh, man, I had it sweet. Then he goes and find out what he competing with. He like, damn. Now, when you're in your emotions like most of these internet motherfuckers, he like, oh, that dog's a piece of shit. Oh, that dog ain't pure. I had my lines for fucking 100 years. But you ain't got that contract no more, do you? Huh? You wasn't listening to the military guy who told you, man, hey man, we like your dogs, man, but they're getting weaker, man. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't got that fucking fire that they used to have when we was fucking with you 20 years ago. Yeah, that shit you had 20 years ago, that shit had that woo. That shit was woo-hoo. That shit was Hulk Hogan. Woo. Now your shit's fucking, that shit's, that shit's mediocre, man. What's going on?
That bigger, stronger, faster.
This is what happens when you in a competitive market. It forces you to be great at what you do. Because if you do not do anything better, then you're not going to have the podium. You're not going to be the top dog. So with our classroom, it always teaches us to take it to that level. It always teaches us to get into the lab. Every time you breed, that lab notes from fucking the last breeding, you can reference it, but at the end of the day, we're not following it. My F1 breeding is not my F2 breeding. My F3 is not my F2 or F1 breeding. Like, you know, like my formula for the F1 is going to be different because now I'm going to take that pre-potent and I'm going to add another bitch to it from a whole different family of dogs, maybe a whole different breed. So that every time I bring something to the market, it should be better. Coach, what you got for 2026? Coach, what you got for 2027? Coach, what you got for 2028? That's what I want my patrons to be asking me. Hey, all I got is the same shit. All I've been breeding is the same way. Well, we know what happens when you breed the same way. You don't get pre-potency that way. By that shit, your shit start to digress. I was watching something I was going to share with y'all, but we didn't have enough time. I was watching something, and it's this lady, man, and man, she's got a dope ass, man, her facility in Montana, y'all might have seen it, maybe not, but I was watching on YouTube. And she was on CSNBC or something, CNBC. And man, she got a program where she trains dogs. And, you know, she's not the only one that does it, but trains protection dogs, fully trained. She sells them for $175,000 a piece. They did an interview with her. And, you know, she got a big time investor. Like her shit is state of the art, man. Her shit is top tier, state of the art. Her fucking facility is I dream. She got a full staff, the whole 9 yards, right? So she's giving her testimony, and you know, I resonated with her. But you know what she said? You know, a lot of dog men say this stuff when you have, you know, you got a demand and you're competing. She was saying that the dogs now, she said she's having a hard time getting elite level dogs. because the genetic pool is not there anymore. And, you know, she's selling a lot of dogs to people. And not only that, she's competing. So when you're competing against other people who do what she does, you know, there's people who are shopping. They're actually shopping when they're spending $175,000. And they're testing your dogs amongst others. And her pursuit of these different bloodlines and freaks, these top tier level hard dogs that these people are wanting to pay $175,000 for, she said it's hard to find nowadays. So when I hear her speak, and we know this already, you think I'm a breed dogs that's already established and think I'm gonna come in and change something? Like this is where the common sense got to come into y'all's head. Not y'all right now, because I know we know better, but the people in the back. You think I'm gonna just go to Europe and breed the way they've been breeding and think I'm gonna come in there and really make a splash, man? When there's people who really buying these dogs overseas all over the place, and they're telling, you know, they're saying that the dogs ain't really what they, you know what I mean? The dogs ain't really what they used to be. These are people who got money and they buying these dogs. They're breeding them. And she even said that out of her own mouth. And I wanted to share that. Because this woman got millions of dollars behind her program. Her shit's dope. She making $3 million a year selling dogs. And she said that out of her own mouth. The dogs that she's looking for are hard to find. They're few and far between. That's her problem. Getting these top tier dogs. That's her problem. Well, who's going in the lab and creating them again? You know, I mean, shit, that's a hard thing to do. We heard that from the OG on the podcast. Okay, he said if he could breed them, he'd be rich. He said it's hard. So please, you guys, there's room for us pioneer dogmen and dogwomen. There's room for us. But are you going to be the Elon Musk of this shit? Are you going to be the Nikola Tesla, the Albert Einstein, the one who invented the TV? All these inventors, are you going to be like them? Work tirelessly in the lab trying to figure it out, when everybody says there ain't no such thing. Hey, there's no way you're going to get a fucking image on a goddamn tube and shit. You want to make a TV? You're going to put humans on? Yeah, right. That shit ain't going to happen. Y'all need to go look up that guy. That was a young dude that invented the TV. Go look up that guy who created the fucking TV. Imagine all those naysayers and spectators and commentators telling him, oh, hell no, because there was a lot of them that was telling him, no, that ain't going to work. That's not going to, oh, hell no, you can't get that. So when you hear this type of talk from people who do this and they're purchasing dogs to sell and they're having a hard time getting those dogs and they can't breed them because they're breeding what's already out there. That's just watered down by now. And if you got $175,000, I have to impress you with my dogs. I just can't just have this dog doing, basic obedience and training and shit and cool. And it can bite the sleeve and, it can sit, stay, walk in between your legs. All that showmanship that we see every day on YouTube and on Instagram, all the showmanship. This dog better stick out to me. This dog better be paid for $175,000. That dog better be doing what Gunner doing. That dog better be paying for $175,000. Oh shit, the dog can paint too? You mean the dog can go get my beer, put it away, can go put my clothes in the fucking drawer? That dog's what? So please, tonight, we hit the nail on the head tonight like we always do. Performance versus production. Why elite dogs and horses don't always reproduce greatness. Why we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Why we test in performance and in the breeding shed. Like how they say with thoroughbred horses. Yeah. Why we believe so much in hybrid vigor. Why we do line breeding. Why we do inbreeding. Why are you stacking traits? Why are you adding traits? All this should be in your engineering notes. Before you breed, you should be doing breedings in theory by writing the probabilities down in your notes. And you should be using the best dogs you can find. The best individual performers come from crosses. You can still get good performers off of line bred animals, but the most superior ones come from crosses. So if you breed individuals like the Cocha, why do you think I love crosses so much? Not K-Man, Reddy. Remember that post I sent you with that trainer, and he was talking about, they was asking him, you know, what type of dogs do you like the best? And he said he liked crosses.
Yep, I remember that one.
And he's a well-known trainer. And they were asking him, which dog you like the best? German Shepherd, Malinois, this dog, that dog, that dog. He said, I like crosses.
That vigor.
That vigor, baby. That hybrid vigor, man. Those of you in the back, you don't understand that, huh? You know, you never had a freak in your hands before in your life. You don't understand that concept, huh? You never seen a secretariat in your life. You never had a Mayday in between your legs. You never had a fucking AK-47 chopper, aka the Bone Crusher. You don't know the value of that. And you're not supposed to know. It's above your mental and dogmanship pay grade. You're never gonna know. You know, keep getting those watered down dogs. That's good for you. Get those showmanship type dogs. That's good for you. Them freaks and them podium dogs, you leave that to us. You leave that to the ones who know how to make them, who know how to develop them. You leave that to us, because only a few of us is going to have those. That's why only a few of those animals even exist ever on the planet. Only a few of those ever existed. So, of course, you know, the narrative of these freak type dogs is over these motherfuckers' heads. A double XL pit bull freaking nature is over these motherfuckers' heads because they don't know how it's made. They want to tell me, oh, AK is a mixed breed, is a mastiff. Shut your stupid dumb ass up. Does Gunner look like a mastiff, Reddy?
Hell no.
Does Spade look like a mastiff?
Nope.
Shut your dumb ass up, you dummies in the back. You ignorant motherfuckers in the back that don't have no fucking clue of how a dog is made. Fucking idiots out here, man.
And they're not bullies either.
Fuck no, he not a bully. You wish he was a fucking bully. You wish he was a goddamn bully. You wish. So you can downplay him. He ain't no fucking bully. I got bullies. Man. Shit. You know what I'm gonna do, Reddy? I gotta take a picture and show my big bullies that I had. The big bullies like Gota, like the Gota. I have big bullies. He is not no fucking bully. But you know, the naysayers and spectators, and they want to talk to a real dog, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know dogs. I ain't never had no dogs. I don't know the difference of dogs. Just because you dog men and dog women ain't never heard and never seen, I ain't never seen all the dogs on the goddamn planet. Reddy
Right.
shows me all kind of dogs I ain't never seen. Hey, check this out, Reddy. I'm gonna see you this. This link to this guy's profile. He overseas. Have you ever heard of a Chinese giant pit bull?
A Chinese giant pit bull?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Have you ever heard of one?
No.
Never.
Probably haven't, huh? They fight dogs in China and Japan, right? Especially Japan, right?
Yep.
They got all kind of hybrids and shit over there, and they really fighting them dogs, right?
Yep.
Okay, so why did someone who saw me on Gerald hit me in the DM, told me how he appreciate what I do? He said, "Hey, you gonna like?" He said, "I'm gonna share something with you," and share this, this profile of this dog man who They do all that. They got all kind of hybrids. They got all kind of purebreds, but you know, they ain't really out there in the field with it. Why he got a fucking, and I mean, there's so many dogs that we don't even know. Like, we don't know there's motherfuckers who know how to cook real battle motherfucking ready dogs that you wish you had. You wish you would have saw. But how ignorant am I, the coach saying, oh, there's no such thing as a Chinese giant pit bull. There's no such thing as this and that and the third.
Yeah, I gotta check him out. That's very interesting.
I'm gonna send it to you. But this is how ignorant that the dog world is today. You think you've been all around the world and you've seen everybody's dog? You think you've seen every game pit bull that ever was produced in America? Schoolboy, shout out to Schoolboy, OG Schoolboy. He did a show, and it was about catch weight dogs and big pit bulls. And he broke down the blue dogs. And he talked about the blue pit bulls and how they were in the breed of game dogs and how they were there. And he talked about the dilute gene. But these fucking dumbass, ignorant motherfuckers in the dog game today, they'll tell you, there's no such thing as a blue pit bull, you stupid motherfuckers. Y'all dumb as hell. Y'all dumb ditties. You gonna tell Schoolboy that? You dummies? Tell Schoolboy that. Dummy. See what Schoolboy said to your dumb ass. But you know what? They won't tell Schoolboy that because they respect him too much. They respect him too much. So shout out to Schoolboy for telling these idiots that they don't know nothing about fucking dog genetics. They ain't never ever seen every game dog pit bull ever fucking living. They never seen one. They never seen every produced one to say there ain't no such thing. You see what I'm saying? So please, you guys and gals, you top tier dogmen engineers, you dogmen enthusiasts, keep your mind open. Be open to things that you've never heard of or never seen before, because every dog on the planet Earth was mixed with something. And people who do performance animals, they sure know how to cook them. That's why we got all these different variants of breeds today, because these guys who really work these dogs knew how to put them together. They knew how to mix this with that and mix this and they was in the lab cooking. And these idiots who trace everybody else, who talk about this ain't that, no such thing as that, let them stay in their coloring book when it comes to, let them be in the lines of the coloring book. Okay, let them stay in the elementary school of dogs. Don't debate with them idiots. Say like the coach say, sounds good, spectator. Sounds good. Because when God blessed me with the different experiences I've had, K-Man, you've been blessed. Verde, all you guys, ready? All y'all been blessed with your experiences. And then your experiences always teaches you something new. So there will never be a I never in my experience will, because every time my experience is experienced, it shows me something different and I learn something. So if I get a freak of nature that I ain't never seen in my life, and I know how he was bred, and he is a product of his parents, he's not a product of no motherfucking half-breed cross. There's no Mastiff in AK. He's just a fucking freak. You get those. He's a Secretariat. What are they going to say? Oh, shit, they fucking cross Secretariat's mom with a Clydesdale and shit. They crossed him with a Clydesdale. That's why he's so big and he got the big heart. See, that's what the idiots in the back would say. But we know better over here, y'all. So when you're in this classroom, please have an open mind. Don't be closed-minded over here. When you see something that you don't comprehend, you see a dog that you're like, damn it, Somebody calls it whatever they call it. Let them call it whatever they want to call it. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Let them call it what they want to call it. Appreciate if you see something that's different. Appreciate the shit. Because you know, when I saw that Chinese giant pit bull, I was like, damn, what they mix that with? And it's a ranked dog. A ranked dog actually doing it. I'm like, ooh. So as I close it out, I'm glad that we do what we do, you guys and gals. I'm glad we have this platform where we can be open about our thoughts, where we're not downplaying another dog man or dog woman. We stay in our lane. You know, we just do dogs because we love it. We create because we're creators. We're bettering. When we breed, it's to be better. Add more to our offspring. You know, if you're lacking vigor, you add in vigor. You're lacking health, vitality, you add in that. You know, whatever you're lacking, there's a purpose behind why you're breeding. And if you do it at a high level, you do it at a high level. If you need to work on it, you need to work on it. At the same time, I don't want you guys to be discouraged by these people in the back that want to downplay what us pioneers do, what the forefathers was doing that made the breed today. I don't want you guys to get discouraged because there's few of us. It's few of us that really do this type shit today, especially when it comes to working dogs. And I'm hearing the same narrative, like what Jared was talking about the Doberman. How they need, he's talking about, we need to cross it with something, they don't got the umph that they used to have. Well, then, I mean, what? Everybody love that phenotype so much. That's why they ain't did nothing about it. Oh, I don't want to break the phenotype down. Well, you don't want a better dog then, do you? But if you like the coach, like I tell you, man, performance come over looks. That's why I'm not doing an extreme bulldog type. Performance is over looks. I'm not pursuing that shit. Form follows function, like K-Man said. Extreme and high performance don't go together. Unless it's extreme speed, right? Extreme performance. But not an extreme body type. That don't go with high performance. So as an engineer, why am I making my dogs that way? So, ooh-wee, I love it. 41K9 said, he said, a hybrid example, 50% pit, 50% German Shepherd, possibly the best of both genetics. Those pups are both 50-50, but their pups could be 80-20. Yep, 60-40, 90-10. Yep. Now watch this. That guy, that trainer that sent that to Reddy, that guy who was talking about the crosses, he loved them 50% Miles and them 50% German Shepherds. That's what he loved. That's his favorite.
You know what's crazy, Coach? I got to talk to a few like Mal people themselves, and I hear a lot of people say that they lean towards more like that 40-60, 50-50 than that like 90-10, 100% purebred,
You can see it in them. Verde, you can see it in them. Verde, like these Miles that they got, they big as fuck. They got German Shepherd in them. You can tell.
1,000%. And definitely what we learned about the Dutch Shepherd too, like shit get more deeper than just purebred dogs than what we think.
The performance guys who are not breeders, right? They're just looking for the better performing dogs and they're competing. They're taking whatever is going to get them at the top of their level of sport. That's what they're buying. They can give a fuck less if the shit is purebred or not. Will it get me the title? Yes or no? Give me that.
It's going to hit hard. It's going to drive hard. Dude got the mindset. Dude got the body for it. definitely the mindset, because you see a lot of these dogs crumble under pressure, you know, and that goes back to the brain development and developing your dog. Like, you want a dog that's battle ready, for real, that's not gonna crumble because it just hit this decoy. Now this decoy come in, now I gotta go to this next decoy and then crumbles. Like, no, we need dogs that can hit all 3 decoys in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
Facts.
Facts. Oh, Dylan said, he said, when you're trying to improve, is it because you see the dog's genetics diminishing? So the improving is a cross or breeding with a specific selection? Yep. Or, Dylan, or you just want to add more because that's what you want. You want your dog to be bigger, stronger, faster. You know, or whatever you're lacking. You want them to be smarter. So, now you need to add some dogs that got smart dogs in the lineage. You want to have an on-off switch. So now you need to have a dog that's more calm. You know what I'm saying? Ain't always on go all the time. You know what I'm saying? You got to throw that off switch on. You got to turn the volume down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you got a timid dog. And let's say that dog throws you, let's say you bred it, right? Because you tested it. You test them all. You just don't believe in you don't let the spirit dictate the breeding potential. And then let's say half of them is kind of like calm. The other half are pretty good. And the other ones are, exceptional. But you got this dog that's fucking a nutcase. And you take that timid dog to that nutcase, and then it turns that nutcase down a little bit. So now that nutcase ain't too nutty. Like, this is shit you really got to think about before you throw that dog with that kind of way. Because how do you put an off switch on a dog that don't have an off switch? You're not going to breed it to another dog that's fucking a live wire.
That's what I see. I see a lot of people mixing the mouths with the Dutch Shepherds too, to cancel out some of the craziness.
I feel like that's where you get the unstable. That's in my opinion.
A fucking Dutch Shepherd used to be a Malinois back in the day. Remember how we did that stuff, like before they classified it as a Dutch Shepherd?
Yep, they were the same dog.
Same
basically.
dog.
Yep.
So, and then we know they was crossing the shit in them Dutches because how Homeboy was saying, the military guy has said they was real small in the 80s. Now look how big they are. So we know they was crossing.
Yep. And they said that the Dutchers are more calmer than the Mounts. They're still crazy, but they're less calmer. They're more calmer. They got an off switch, on and off switch.
Yeah, that Malinois will be shaking while you tell it to sit and is waiting to hit that decoy. While that Dutch Shepherd is gonna sit there calmly and wait. The moment you say hit,
it's on.
Oh boy, yeah, it's over.
K-Man, was you gonna say something, K-Man?
I say that temperament difference is because of less terrier in the Dutch versus the Mal.
Well, shit. We learned the other week that the Mal got all kind of fucking pit bull terrier in that motherfucker. I mean, not the Mal, but the Dutch Shepherd.
Yeah, they do, but I think that's where the Mal split off, is when they put the bull terrier in them.
They got both the Mal and the Dutch got fucking pit bull in them. But listen, the art is this. This is the art. This is the art, fellas. When you're a master breeder, you know how to wash that shit out where you wouldn't even know it. And then you know how to focus on traits. So for whatever reason, why you added that pit bull in there, you know how to selective breed for those traits. And then you can mask them in the dogs that you select that look just like a fucking purebred Malinois or purebred Dutch or purebred German Shepherd. There's master breeders that know how to do this type shit. Not everybody know what the fuck they doing in the lab. Salute to the ones that know how to fool your ass. Because they're getting the parts that they need while you still believe it's pure. So we are aware of this. And that's why I encourage you all to whatever you fucking need. You might not be able to find it within the breed. If you have patience, this to all you Dobie guys too, you got patience, man, get you a couple of guys and start fucking breaking it down. Might take y'all 5-10 years to make it look back like a Doberman. Do it though, if you really believe that you can do it.
I'll take that challenge.
Shout out to Caveman.
Man. But I was just gonna say though, like when it comes down to it though, even if you are trying to achieve, let's say, the next best dog, you gotta understand sometimes, not even sometimes, more than likely, you're going to have to sacrifice your phenotype to create the next best dog. And that next best dog might be an ugly ass dog, but you gotta understand that that ugly ass dog is your next best dog that's going to produce you better dogs.
Yeah. They're all genetic pieces to a puzzle. It's parts. That's why I use the car analogy. Every dog, as someone who breeds, should be a dog part, especially if that dog can produce what you see in an offspring or offsprings. So just because a dog doesn't look a certain type of way, just because a dog doesn't perform a certain type of way, but it can give you that which that dog is not showing you per se, but it's in the blood or the genetic, it can give you that in the offspring, then that's a tool. Dogs are tools if you know how to use them correctly, if you know how to match them. And that's why you need to test your dogs with different females. If you have a program where you mix breed, test them with different breeds. Because like I said, you wouldn't even think to your mind that Chopper the Mass Topper got all them different breeds in them. When you look at them, you wouldn't even know.
That's my boy right there, but
So me being, I would consider myself a master. I'm an artist, not a breeder. I'm a master at what I do. I can lie to you if I wanted to and say, oh man, that's, whatever. That's AK with a fucking pit bull or whatever. I could just lie to you and you wouldn't even fucking know. Like, no, this dog's a fucking 4-breed composite breed. 4 breeds. You wouldn't even think that Red Bull is that nigga's fucking grandfather. He don't look nothing like Red Bull. Nothing like him.
you look like AK though.
You look like, exactly. So please don't get discouraged in 2026. I know y'all know better. Just don't get discouraged because the line is getting drawn now. The line is getting drawn. There's us and then there's them. And there's fewer of us and a lot more of them. The ones that will never progress, the ones that will be like the woman who's like got a business and like, I can't get no top tier shit. I got shit from overseas. I got shit from in the States. I got these IPOs and double element OP dogs. And, I'm not getting the level that I used to get when I got them dogs back in the day. These dogs ain't what they used to be. So we draw on the line of those people who keep doing the same thing and they think they're going to get different. We draw the line between us and them because we know we got to do something different. We know we got to do something different to get better. We not, what I'm saying? I'm not getting Coco and then I'm going to get another, I'm going to go from Coco Coco's line, and I'm gonna go holler at that breeder and get a half brother or half sister from whatever, half brother, and I'm gonna breed Coco to, I'm gonna line breed that shit. I ain't doing that shit.
That's backwards.
I ain't doing that shit. They already doing that shit. I ain't doing what he doing. That's what he doing. Is that what he want to do? Salute to him. That's not what I'm doing. Or I'm not going to try to take a Malinois from another line and from these, and they're already established lines, and think I'm gonna make better Malinois when they've been breeding these Malinois. I mean, they've been they keep breeding these Malinois all different type of ways, and the only ones that's getting better dogs is them boys out there in the UK that's doing them damn hybrids. They're the ones that's getting the Malinois. You don't even know that they you think they Malinois, you look at them, but they hybrids. They get better. But to your eye, to my eyes, that looks like a full-blood Mal or a Dutch Shepherd. No, that's a fucking F2 hybrid. What? So I digress. Anything else y'all want to add before we close out?
This is another banger, man.
Yeah, we smashed this one. We smashed this one. So go back, y'all. Hit that rewind button, man. Y'all working in the yard, y'all driving. Man, put your headphones on, man. Go back in the archives. Bro, 120 of them, 120 classes, like top tier level classroom shit, man. Like, bro, we on a whole different wave than everybody else. We're on a whole different wave, man. And it's gonna show in the dogs. And I am looking forward as the coach. As an example, I'm looking forward to being able to show you guys what we've been talking about all these mini classes. When I take this fucking shit to the highest level and I show you these hybrids and these theories that we talking about in my own program, and I'm showing you top tier shit and we smacking them out the park, and y'all can be like, man, hey, coach, I remember you was talking that shit, coach. I remember you was practicing what you preach, coach. I remember you was encouraging us to think outside the box to create the circle. And I see that you doing it. And you did it. That's what I'm hoping that I can be to you guys. Yet alone myself, but to y'all, like an example, like Coach been telling us to do this shit. Coach did it. That's inspiring. All them naysayers, they just trying to downplay him and shit. They was trying to downplay AK. But now look at AK. Look at AK got a whole damn line. Not only that, look at his sons. His sons is doing it too. Damn, Coach said that. Coach did say that. Coach did tell us that. But I digress. Man, salute to the chat, man. We had a dope ass chat, man. Salute to all the new guys.
Salute to the chat.
Yeah, all the new guys who came in. I appreciate y'all, man. I think I got an extra like 30 motherfuckers that followed me on YouTube and stuff. So I appreciate all y'all, the new followers. Thanks to the Gerald's platform. I salute all y'all. Couple hundred that followed me on IG. I appreciate all y'all that reached out, you know what I'm saying? That reached out to me and stuff like that, gave me some words of encouragement and all that good shit, man. I appreciate all of you because there's only a few of us, y'all, and we got to stick together, man. But let's keep pushing this car. Let's keep making these dogs better and better. Let's use our minds. Let's be creative. Let's not downplay one another. Let's be here to learn, man. Let's be here to learn. Everybody got something to bring to the table, okay? Whether right or wrong, as long as you're trying to be right. You can be wrong now, but as long as you're trying to be right, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're trying to be right, you can be wrong right now. It's okay. It's all right. But we're trying to be right, okay? We're not going to downplay each other to do it. Ain't none of us on no bitch-ass shit. Say that feminine shit for the females, man. Let's be men. Let's have some camaraderie. Let's have some unity, and let's be professional in how we deal with each other. Let's be encouraging. All that negativity and shit like that and downplaying, we don't do that over here, man. We don't do that over here, men. But I digress, man. We pretty much done, fellas. We done.
I think somebody was looking for me.
Who was it?
Red.
They said I'm gonna contact you. That was crazy. I don't know if they
holla at me on IG, man. Young Ready 109.
Yep, Young Ready. Yeah, what is that? RHEDTX said it?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, you heard him. Ready? Yeah, that's what he said. How can I contact you? So you heard him, RHEDTX. Hit him up on IG. So what's your IG again?
Young Ready 109.
There you go. Hit him up on the IG, man. Salute to you, Only the Council, 416K9s, Tony. All y'all, man. All y'all, TESD, man. I appreciate all you guys coming out, all the new guys, everybody, man. You guys, wow, the chat was jumping. All y'all was talking that high performance dogman engineer talk. That's the type of talk I like. Nobody's hating, nobody's talking shit, trolling. Everybody's talking real engineer talk. That's how we supposed to be talking.
Facts.
Period. The super dogman computer. None of this bitch shit. But we out, man.
Salute.
Salute, y'all. Till next week.
Peace.
Peace.